Just got home from work and so another 10 plus hour day. I am now 10 days into 12 straight doubles because kids are off school and Moana is out. So yeah, and I don't have to work tomorrow until a little bit later in the day. So not getting up at 6 to be in there at 7 for school groups like I have the last 2 days. So I can sleep in a little bit tomorrow. So I figured I would jump on here and see if anybody wants to chat. All right, we got one in here. I totally unprompted. I just got home from work. I just got changed, and I was like, screw it. I'll go live and see if anybody's on there. Fun fact is, like to have fun. So yeah, hope everybody's doing well on this Thanksgiving here in the States. I had a pretty funny. I door dashed Wawa, which is the only thing that's open around here. For those of you who don't know, Wawa is like, hey, what's going on, man? Happy Thanksgiving. Wawa is like a gas station, but it also has like a deli inside and makes sandwiches and stuff like that. So I ordered a hot turkey bowl. I always work on Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to you as well, Adam. I'm never home on Thanksgiving or anything like that. So I ordered a hot turkey bowl, which is like mashed potatoes and stuffing and stuff like that. And it comes to me, and I take it out of the thing, and it had the stuffing and the gravy and the mashed potatoes, but no turkey. And I was like, that's pretty apropos for me for having no luck whatsoever, because all I wanted was the fucking turkey, man. But whatever. I got Sour Patch Kids and a Canada Dry, so that's what we're doing for. That's our. This is my Thanksgiving dinner. So how is everybody doing tonight? I won't stay on too long. I've kind of figured I would just pop in, see what everybody's up to, do a little chat, and then let everybody go on their merry way. I'm exhausted, man. I'm just flat out fucking beat from the last few days. Today was the end of the pay period. Hey, what's going on? Today was the end of the pay period, and I just did everybody's hours to get everybody paid, and I did 75 hours in 7 days, and I was like, and I had one day off too, so I was like, fuck me, man. So yeah, it's that time of year. But it'll slow down. Happy Turkey Day to you, Kevin. It'll slow down, and then we'll pick back up when kids get on Christmas vacation and stuff like that. Moana 2 is doing very well for us, which is great because I needed it. I got to do all kinds of orders and 75 hours. Yeah, man, I'm beat, and I'm trying to get it all together because Wednesday this coming week we're shooting the last chunk of the movie, and I gotta go find time to get a haircut and get the scripts printed out and get the get a list of what gear we're gonna need and lighting and all that kind of stuff. So I'm just let's see. Happy Thanksgiving, Newt. You're my favorite part of Hack the Movies. Wish you the best. Thank you. I've never seen it, but should I watch Planes, Trains, and Automobiles? Yeah, man. I love that movie. I think that's the best Thanksgiving comedy ever made. John Candy, Steve Martin. It's a great movie. John Hughes, Kevin Bacon cameo in it. That's a great movie. It's really, really funny, but it's also bittersweet. It's got a really sad ending, but a hopeful sad ending. So that's definitely one of those Thanksgiving ones that I would put up there with Thanksgiving, the slasher movie. Thanksgiving as well. Let's see, Blood Rage is another one. That's not cranberry sauce. I hate the ending. Yeah, because it's sad. Very sad. Somebody in the Instagram, I did that like ask me a question thing, and they asked me what my favorite John Candy movie was, and that was Plane, Trains, and Automobiles is up there. He did so many though. And people always forget he's in JFK. He's got a great cameo, playing a very different type of character in JFK. I revisit that one every so often. That's a good movie. I'm gonna move this so I'm a little bit closer. How did everybody spend? Who's who and let's see. I've never seen Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. One of my friends raves about it all the time. Yeah, I think. I mean, if you're a fan of John Hughes style comedies, it's definitely one to check out. He was on that roll in the '80s with Breakfast Club and 16 Candles, Pretty in Pink, She's Having a Baby, all the way up to Curly Sue in the '90s. Then his career fell off from there. Um, but I think that dude like made a deal with the devil or something because everything he wrote was just gangbusters. Ferris Bueller's Day Off and shit. And he would just write a first draft in 2 days, turn it in, and it would become this massive comedy. So, that dude was something. Plus, he gave the world Molly Ringwald, which I was a big fan of in the '80s. She still looks good, actually. She was in that Jeffrey Dahmer series on Netflix, which was probably like 3 years ago now, because the last few years have flown by. But so how did everybody spend their Thanksgiving? Um, I obviously spent it at work. Had to send my one employee who could work today home early because her parents were on my case. So I wound up doing box office, running to the concession stand, running back to box office, then running up to the projection booth, getting the movie started. Um, what shade of Just for Men do you use? The hair stuff? I don't have. That's my own receding hairline, man. I have dark hair. I have very dark hair, except for on the sides. I'm getting grays on the sides, and I'm getting grays in this as well, which I haven't shaved. I had to work today. It's no fun. If I was gonna color my hair though, I would probably go with a different color because you can definitely see with your hair. My hair is darker like this. You can see where my hair is like getting thinner, like on my cowlick and stuff like that. You can tell where it's getting thinner. So I was just like, fuck. Because somebody asked me the other day, like, do you wear a wig? And I was like, what the fuck? How do I wear a wig? Like, if I was gonna wear a wig, I'd get a better one. But that started on the old channel. Like people from Reddit were kept asking that. I was like, I don't get that, but whatever. Even when I had like super long hair, it just sits funny. When I had when I got chemo, my hair started growing in weird after that. So yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna dye blonde. That'd be kind of cool. Saw my parents and my brother pretty laid back Thanksgiving. That was nice. All right, cool. Nobody in my family reached out to me whatsoever, so I don't know. My mom finally got a hold of me the other day, and she's like, asking. I was like, you know about my car, right? And she's like, no, I didn't know about that. I was like, I left you a message, and it's all over social media. Like, I don't think my mom likes me very much. Um, that's cool, man. Yeah, I think the last Thanksgiving that I had that was like with another person was like 2013 when I lived in Tucson when Amber Silverman made me Thanksgiving when we were dating and living together. I think it's the last time I had like real Thanksgiving dinner. Every other year I'm at work, 'cause nobody else wants to work holidays, so and I don't have any place to be, so I was like, fuck it, I'll work every holiday, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, New Year's Eve. Um, you know, Thankfully today was not as busy as yesterday was. Yesterday we had three shows, well, four shows technically, because I did a school group in the morning by myself. Um, uh, did you always have a strained relationship with your parents? No, not really. My relationship with my dad wasn't well. I have a strained relationship with my parents for other reasons, for emotional reasons. Happy Schlocksgiving, hello. But I wasn't ready to confront those things yet, so I kind of didn't deal with them. But it wasn't until 2016 when all the Trump stuff that my dad like kind of went over the he went over the hill on that one. And then in 2020 is when he said not to talk to him anymore. So I haven't spoken to him since. My mom just kind of like it's back and forth kind of thing. She's got her own stuff going on because my brother has a lot of issues. Well, he doesn't have issues. His ex-wife has issues, which makes it difficult for my mom because she loves she's the grandmother to my brother's kids and stuff. Obviously, that's how that works. But she kind of always has to be in the middle of dealing with this my brother's crazy ex and getting the kids to my brother and all this kind of stuff. So she has a lot of other shit going on. So I don't fault her for any of that. And she has no contact with my dad either. He's righteously indignant, so that's fine. And then my mom was around last March when I had the first of my two surgeries. My mom and my stepdad picked me up from the hospital because I couldn't drive, and kind of hung out with me. Did you go for the Wawa Gobbler? I told this story on here. I ordered the only thing that's open around here is Wawa. And I had money, I had like credits for DoorDash because they messed up an order. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna order DoorDash. So I ordered a hot turkey bowl, which is like mashed potatoes, stuffing, cranberry sauce, and hot turkey and gravy. So it took like an hour to get here. When it finally got here, there was all the stuff was in there except for turkey. At least January won't be as busy at the theater. Yeah, well, I'll figure out ways to still, get people in the door, do some specialty programming. But really, December is going to be all for editing the movie, and then January starts pre-production on the next one. So that it's gonna get very busy. And the producer I'm working with is going to be making a lot of announcements starting mid-December. I love Wawa. Always story of the one in Wayne when I was there. Yeah, the one in Wayne. Which one? Because there was the one up the street from the theater, and then there was the one that was across the street from that, where there was a fucking shooting the one night. Um, I remember I worked a double that day, and I was waiting for my friend Brian and some other people to come up to watch a movie with me, and I think it was Bad Times at the El Rey was the movie, and I was gonna go to that other Wawa, and then I didn't. I wound up turning around and getting something else, and I missed out on a dude walked in with a fucking gun and shot his ex-girlfriend or something like that, and I was like, whoa, like it was right around when I would have been there. Because Metz said the same thing. Metz was going to come up and join us and said I was going to that Wawa, but wound up having to go to another one because the road was closed off. I was like, that's fucking crazy, you know? But yeah, no. So I didn't get my. Is there Harkins in your area? No, Harkins seems to be more of a like a Southwest kind of thing. There was a lot of them in Tucson when I lived out there, and it's funny. My buddy Race, who's usually in here, we were literally talking about Harkins theaters the other night when he called me. And so yeah, I've been to a lot of them though, and there was some in Colorado when I was there. There was some in St. Louis when I was there because I interviewed with Harkins once, and I wound up I don't know, I didn't want to jump into like being far away from home at that point because at that point I was I had a girlfriend, we had the web show and stuff like that, so I passed up on that one and went to go work for hotels at that point back when we were doing Underbelly and I was seeing Crystal and stuff. So yeah, I passed that one up. They said I would have been moved to Baton Rouge, Louisiana. So life could be very different. You all would have never been exposed to my malarkey. But yeah, yeah, no, I was saying January. We're gonna start making announcements soon for the next movie, and then the one of the other producers who's out in the Dakotas, he and I have kind of landed on an idea that he really really likes. He bought a movie theater, like an old movie theater, and he wants to make like a Ghoulie style movie there. So I'm taking parts of some other scripts that I've written in the past that I don't have access to any, like I don't legally own them anymore, and taking the pieces that they jettison and creating another script out of that just to kind of get a first draft going. What was it like working at a hotel? I was the night auditor, which meant that I ran the overnight. Where can we watch these movies you're making? It's coming. We're still not done Amityville Pool Toy Massacre, but when we are done, I already have 2 streaming services set up, and we're gonna self-distribute it as well. So you'll be able to get it. I can't say where it'll be yet, but you'll also be able to buy a physical copy from us because we're gonna print our own. But I have a couple other things. All right, I lost you guys there for a second. I hit something and it went away. All right, what did I miss here? No whiskey tonight, usually a Thanksgiving thing. No, I don't have any booze in the house right now. What's up? Happy Thanksgiving. Can't wait to see Thanksgiving too. Yeah, he's signed on for it, so that's pretty cool. I liked it. Mom picked me up in an Uber and a Lyft was a real joke. Talked to a lot of people. All right, cool. Oh, but the hotel. I was the night auditor. I ran the overnight shift. I finished up all the day's paperwork. I collected all the money. I did the deposits. I made up the cleaner's schedule and stuff like that. I filled out the repair logs and all that stuff. Like it was, I basically was the overnight person. And I did that at a hotel down the Jersey Shore. And then I did it at like a DoubleTree hotel in South Jersey. That was interesting. Yeah, I had a lot of overnight friends who would stop by to hook up in empty rooms and stuff. That was a good time. Um, and then just this past March, I was doing the overnight at this huge Wyndham hotel, which was really, really upscale. And I would do 10 o'clock at night to 7 o'clock in the morning. And that was a good period of time where I was fucking dying, man. Wow, what a weird Thanksgiving this has been. I can now mark off witnessing a mental breakdown from a Thanksgiving list. Oh, cool. I had one of those. I had a very public one. Well, I hope everyone's all right. Yeah, mental breakdowns are not fucking fun. I was talking when Amber was here the other day. We were talking about my first ever panic attack that I ever had was because of her, and she felt I reopened that wound, and she felt really bad about it. But yeah, that shit happens. Well, I hope everybody's all right. I hope nobody was hurt and everybody's cool with the mental breakdown and they can get the help they need and stuff like that. It's important. What was the most annoying audience you've dealt with in a movie? The Taylor Swift people were pretty annoying. Happy Thanksgiving to you as well. Still, on wheels. They were like, out of control and screaming and jumping up and down and shit like that. But they were having fun and they spent 1313 to get in the movie, and it was at a time in October where there was nothing else out, so that really helped us. But they were annoying. I don't know. There's so many annoying people. Like that's even today. I was just like, really, what the fuck, man? It's Thanksgiving. Um, People who are very entitled, especially with the Wayne Theater, because everybody there is very wealthy, and they treated us like we were, fucking garbage, and many of us were. But that gets under my skin. Anytime people talk shit to my employees, Elvira, what are you doing? I put boxes down that I have to take to recyclables, and she's just kind of like bashing them. Whatever. Hey, what's going on, Tony L? How are you doing today? You'll find that like people don't really take into account how mean the public is. What was the fastest you've ever fired an employee? Oh, okay. I had a kid who I hired on a Tuesday. I scheduled him on a Wednesday to train. He didn't show up, so I fired him on Wednesday. So he didn't even have the job for a full 24 hours. Just getting ready for work. All right, I'm just getting home from work. Um, yeah, I think that's the quickest. 1313 Swifties, the number of the beast. Yeah, I was showing the new employees here because we had two kids. Well, not kids, they're like 18, 19 years old. They came back from college to work and they hadn't met me yet. So we were talking about like the filthiest the theater's ever been. And I keep a lot of pictures of like horrifying things that I'd seen. And I showed them the Taylor Swift pictures and they're like, what the fuck? Born on Monday, married on Tuesday. That's in certain states or certain countries. But yeah, no, they're out of control. But we made money off it, which was good. And that was October of last year. Because I left the Narberth in February. And then yeah, the last year is fucking flown by, man. It's wild to think. Well, the last 3 years have been such a disaster that it's hard to keep track of it's like, did we do that in 2021, 2022? Ghostbusters Frozen Empire thoughts. I liked it. I liked it just because it felt more like it was taking cues from the cartoon, from the real Ghostbusters. But I do agree with Dan Aykroyd that it's time to pass the torch on from the old ones and start with the new ones. And that would mean to me, like, I would get rid of the kids now. I would kind of I would have Winston as the kind of Tony or Nick Fury of it, and kind of have other Ghostbuster teams. What was your first job? My first job was at a gas station when I was 15. The only time I ever had a problem with moviegoers was when I saw Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice, I was stuck in the middle of a family that was rowdy kids, and it was tough. Yeah. Hopefully you go full frontal in your new movie. I wanted to, but they wouldn't let me. I have a really I have a I have a joke in another script that's written where I do have an excuse to go full frontal, but we'll see if that movie ever gets made. But it's a pretty good gag, and it would just be an excuse to prove the legend. But yeah, my first job was at a gas station. I was 15, and we got robbed, and I got a gun put in my mouth by a kid named Anthony. His uncle knew when we had the deposits there, and when the manager wasn't going to be there, and he robbed us. And so my parents made me quit, obviously, and that's when I got the job at the movie theater, the AMC, in 1999, May of 1999. What do you have in line for 2025? Any career personal goals? Yeah, the goal is get Amityville Pool Toy Massacre out in the spring, start shooting the sci-fi movie in the winter, and then head out to the Dakotas in the spring and start shooting that project. And then we've been sitting on all 6 issues of Florida Man now for about a year, waiting for the marketing people who we hired to kind of give us something that we can use. So yeah. What is the worst movie you've seen in a movie theater? What's the worst movie I've seen in a movie theater? Because there's like bad movies that are fun. Um, Ever watched my documentary Ghost Heads? Yeah, Ghost Heads had Tommy Avalone was a producer on it. I grew up with him. He did the Barney documentary recently. He did the House From recently, which is about like famous filming locations. But yeah, he was the producer on Ghost Heads. I remember when that whole thing was happening. It was a really bad movie, The Sound of Thunder. Happy Thanksgiving to you as well, Dendo. Which was like the butterfly flaps its wings. It was just really, really bad. It had like really dated bad CGI even at that point. That was a pretty terrible movie. Um, Master of Disguise was really, really bad. And then I had to go to like press screenings back in the day of a lot of those Christian movies, and those were always pretty lousy, like Fireproof and God's Not Dead 2 and shit like that. Uh, yeah, no, Ed Burns was good. I mean, he's in it. I like him. He's a big part of The Wire. I think Ben Kingsley was in that one as well. But that is a terrible movie. I don't know. There's been so many like because I used to have to like watch everything. Glitter with Mariah Carey was really bad. From Justin to Kelly was really bad. I had to watch that instead of the Eric Bana Incredible Hulk movie. Um, because and they gave me Hazard Pay for that one, which is kind of funny. Um, Thanks so much. Oh, okay. There's an Amityville podcast that wants me to come on to talk about the movie. Uh, any Tommy Avalone movies that you want to share? What was he like growing up? He was ingenuity was his thing, man. He did a movie called Wasted Apples that we used to sell at my comic book store. And that's kind of how I met him. And then there was this dude. I thought I liked the guy. Um, he was a filmmaker. We had met a couple times about doing like a very Kevin Smithy kind of thing. And this other guy who worked for me, Pete, who stole my whole CD collection. He started this rumor that Tommy said some shit about me, so I confronted him. And he's like, I never said any shit. So we kind of didn't talk to each other for a long time. And then when we started talking, he was just like, wait, I thought you hated me. I was like, that's what the fucking dude told me. But no, he was like always running around with a camera. and he was just had a million ideas. He ran for mayor once when he was a teenager and shit like that. The dude was like out there like making stuff happen. I wanted to do that stuff, but I didn't know how to. But he was actually out doing it, so I was always kind of jealous of that. What was it like working in a comic book store? I wish I could get those days back, man. We were in a pretty dead mall. We had a very loyal fan base, and my office in the back room had a couch on it, and I had a lot of fun in that back room with uh, a lot of different women, and yeah, that was a fun job. Mazel tov to you as well. Oh, that's right. Yeah, because I'm Jewish. Jewish, and I wear a hairpiece, and I color my hair as well. Apparently, these are the things that I've learned. Want to see my back issues? That's right. Take them in the back. No, because it started with when Spider-Man was coming out, the first Spider-Man movie. All the girls who worked upstairs at Fredericks of Hollywood, they all wanted to get their boyfriends like superhero t-shirts. So my old boss used to play this game where he's like, I'll give you that shirt, but I'm gonna find the smallest shirt we have, and you have to see if you could fit it on you. If you could fit it on you, give you the shirt. So that was a game that we used to play. You can't get away with those things now. And I wound up dating the one girl. She was part black and part Japanese for a while, and then she became an exotic dancer. And yeah, she was she was a good time. Um, yeah, but hit me up if you ever want to collab. Yeah, man, I'm always down to do stuff. I not really, it's I'm just finishing the movie and working nonstop. Like I said, I've done well over. I'm a fan. Well, thank you, man. I appreciate that. Um, I don't know why anybody would be a fan of me, but I'll take it. Like I said, I did over 70 hours this week. I'm getting home and just kind of like trying to decompress a little bit, and I put some of the script together for Wednesday, kind of cleaning that up a little bit. Um, and then once I get all the rest of the footage, because the when my car got broken into, the hard drive got stolen. But thankfully, Mark, who's the director of photography, and he's one of my associate producers on this. He backed everything up, so we didn't lose those 4 days because I would have lost my fucking mind. So we have all that. Uh, we're gonna make DILF movies. I'm telling you. I was talking to a friend of mine this morning, and she was bringing up the MILF thing, and I was like, I'm talking to a guy who wants to make a MILF movie, so we're gonna make our Indiana Jones inspired 70s porno movie, which I'm all for. Uh, you know, we'll see what happens with that. Actually, I'm gonna probably put it in the Ghoulies project, like some 70s porn thing. What was the school group like? It was the one yesterday. Wait, what's today? Was it this morning? No, it was yesterday morning. One yesterday morning was 55 autistic kids. So I had to do 55 kids packs. They all had water and stuff like that. And then run upstairs, get the movie started, get back downstairs. They were pretty easy to go. The theater was a mess, but 2 weeks ago I had 150 kids, and that was a fucking nightmare. You're authentic and genuine. Who wouldn't be a fan of that? Oh, I can name a couple of people who are not a fan of me. um, Worked yesterday and working tomorrow, my normal schedule. And when I'm leaving the bar and go my interview with someone who uploads on Facebook, talked about how hard dating is in my city. Not very good. Uh, I don't know. I don't think there is any dating in the city that I live in. I haven't really seen any lookers but I haven't really been around much. I'm just at work or at home, and it sucks not having a car right now. Although I'm expecting next week to get my check from the insurance company, so I pay off the lease. Once the lease is paid off, whatever I have left will go towards so I can get mobile again because it's driving me fucking nuts to be stuck where I can only walk around where I can get to around here. Or when Amber came up, we went out for to eat and stuff like that, but I had to have her drive. What is the worst position at work at the theater? Reverse cowgirl. No, there isn't really one. I try to treat the kids really well. I got like a whole bunch of text messages today from like the staff that was like they like, we have to say something we're thankful for, and they were like, we're thankful for you coming in, and I've really tried to change the culture they had there, because the girl who was the general manager before me had stolen like $40,000, and it was a whole fucking thing. So when I got there, aside from learning the building and all that, I'm doing the forensics accounting as well, and I'm building the case against this woman for the owner, so that we can get the money back from the insurance company and all that kind of stuff. So like that's been a big part of my job. And I had to do that when I lived in Connecticut as well. When I worked for Bowtie Cinemas, I took over as the general manager of the Norwalk 6, I think it was. And I had to do the same thing, all this forensic accounting stuff where I'm, pulling all the reports and the security feeds and stuff like that. So it's never just get to be like the guy who like rips the tickets or something like that. I'm always kind of running around doing 100 things, and it's all digital now, but it used to be like building the films. Now it's a hard drive, getting that in there, building the show list, making the employee schedule, making the inventory schedule, booking birthday parties and school groups. I have to get an exterminator out this week, so I have to clear out a bunch of stuff. And happy Thanksgiving to you. Dating died when they closed down dance halls. Kevin Bacon saved it though. He did though. Um, they don't give you ticket stubs anymore. No, they do. We're old school. Tickets in my theater are only $5. And we have the old school, like the ticket pops up and I rip it in half and stuff like that. Our prices are ridiculously low. Large popcorn is $3.75, and it's a tub. The owner tries to keep everything as old school as humanly possible. We have 350 seats. It's a single screen auditorium. When I got there, I downloaded a whole bunch of like Looney Tunes cartoons. So before the show, instead of showing a fuck ton of trailers, I'll show an old Looney Tunes cartoon, and the curtain opens on its own and it closes on its own. It's really cool and different. It's like stepping back in time, but it's a lot to keep these old buildings working, because it's everything. All the gear is old, and the soda fountain's old, and like he wants that retro style. But those things, like when they break, they're really hard to get replacement parts for. So that's why I'm kind of, with the staff we have now, like I'm putting a lot of the theater I go to, the theater I go to that gives you a receipt now. Yeah, a lot of like Regal and AMC do that. They just give you the receipt. It's really just for accounting, to make sure you're supposed to be in that theater, and then they do a ticket number in the event that there's like, they have a checker come or something like that. Make sure that the right amount are printed out for that show. Because when you get an audit, it's not very much fun. I've been on the good side and the bad side of some audits that, not a big fan of. But yeah, I don't know. The dating thing, I don't have any confidence anymore. Haven't for the last 3 years. The redhead took that. But yeah, because Amber was saying the same thing. She's like, we should get on dating websites and stuff. And I was like, I don't know, man. What movie are you showing in December? We're gonna do Mufasa, because we only have one screen, so I have to make sure that it hits well. Part of me wishes the town drive-ins were still around. I got wrecked by Katrina and the burned down. Oh wow. Oh, thank you, man. Now it's an apartment complex. We have a couple drive-ins here. We have Becky's Drive-In, we have Schwenkweiler's, and we have the Mahoning Drive-In. And Mahoning Drive-In is the most famous one. That's where the Joe Bob Jamboree was when I used to be on the old show. That was kind of the last good weekend that I had before my life fell apart. But yeah, that place is awesome. And then I was up there last spring because they showed my Coin Slots trailer there. Restaurant, let's see, as a good sound, but just have a good one. At a restaurant, got no sound, but just have a good one. Oh, okay, all right. I was like, wait, do I not have a stroke? What do you want? Ever been to Phoenix, Arizona? Yes, I have. Nobody would accuse you of plagiarism for those sideburns. I had to grow them out because with filming, and then I have to get rid of them so it matches. So I had to let them get to the length they were the last time we were filming the thing. And like, so that sucked. Ever manage a dollar theater? Yeah, I managed a second run theater, not a dollar theater. And that was in Tucson, Arizona, actually. It was the Crossroads 6. And I think tickets there were like $3 or something like that. But yeah, we were second run, so we had the movies after they left all the big theaters. But I love Phoenix. I've been all over Phoenix. I've been all over Arizona. I lived there for a while, and I really really like it out there. And the Tucson Comic Con usually brings me out to do panels and stuff like that out there. So I always take my chances to go to Arizona. Elvira knows about the turkey outside diagnosis, man. Let's see. Old school drive-in burger places need to make a comeback along with drive-in theaters. There's like a old school drive-in burger place in South Jersey. Thank you, Newt. I have no life, no wife, and I had hasn't had ass since 2013. I appreciate your time with us on here. Well, of course, man. You should come to Phoenix Fan Fusion. What's that? It's like a pop culture con. That'd be kind of cool. Um, 2013, huh? I was still doing okay for myself in 2013. I technically had two girlfriends in 2013, and I was trying to like separate that, and there was overlap. It hasn't really been much fun. Are you trying to look uh, as a minor attracted person? No, I'm not. What? That's a text message. Um, what are some songs that inspire and motivate you? Uh, it's actually a question in a video that's coming up. I don't know. I'll put on like all kinds of different stuff. Like last night when we were cleaning the building, I had the speakers hooked up to the projection booth and was just playing like music. And I was asking the kids who work for it, I was like, "Have you ever heard of this band or this band?" And they actually knew some of the bands. And they're like, "Oh, this song's really old." I was like, "Oh fuck, I was in high school when that song came out." Sucks getting old. Let's see what I missed. What's up? Nothing. What's up with you? Fan Fusion is a comic book collection. All right, that's cool. There's a drive-in not too far from here. It was great during COVID. There was a lot of classic movies. Yeah, during COVID was great for drive-ins. I remember when I worked at Screenwave, they wanted to open a drive-in, and I did all the legwork for it. And nothing ever became of it. They wanted to do like those pop-up shows in the parking lot of the convention center in Oaks where they do their too many game one. And I did all the work, and then they changed their mind because the owner would just come in and have an idea, have somebody look into it, and then just forget about it. And I'd be like, cool, glad I wasted a day of my life here when I could have been like working. So that was that. But yeah, no, drive-ins made a big comeback, and the ones around here do really well. Like Becky's Drive-In, I know the owners of that. They used to come to the Narberth Theater and the Wayne Theater for exhibitor screenings. So I got to be friends with them, and they do a thing called Vanadu, where they have all these vans out. It's like a van culture thing, but I'm doing Vampire in the spring, or it's probably the summer now. And they want to feature the movie. So I was like, hey, once we get the movie done, you guys can do, whatever you want. Have you ever given a shocker to a homeless person? No, they've given me one though. Remember, I lived in Manayunk. They were all over the place out there. And the guy said $5 is $5. See that the messages I get outside of the messages I get here. Also, I need people to message. I need people to leave comments on the Amber and I video because we're gonna do a Q&A video answering questions from that video and answering questions that you want to know from her about me or me about her. And we didn't really get anything yet, so I want to plan a Q&A, but I need you guys to go to that Amber Does Newt video and leave a question or a comment that we can use in that video, so we have things to talk about. I got a couple DMs of ones that are pretty funny, and so I'm going to use those, but I need enough for a full video, so please go to that and leave me something. Mets around. No, Mets is I don't know where Mets is. I haven't talked to Mets really in a couple days. They've been busy. See that viral video, some guy sitting on the street in front of another guy and his date at a restaurant window? No. What was that? I don't whenever things are viral, I don't really pay attention to stuff. I'll see it afterwards and go, "Oh, that's interesting." Happy Colonizer Day. That's right. I celebrated it by giving myself smallpox. Oh, shitting outside a window. Oh, okay, I didn't know that. The Substance was a good movie. Favorite horror of the year. Yeah, Substance was great. Substance was fucking fantastic. What I don't know what my favorite one of the year is. I have to look back and what I saw this year. I saw a lot of movies this year. Um, but I have to look back and see when things came out and maybe I never make a list. Maybe I'll make a list this year and check it twice of my favorite movies of the year because things like uh, you coloring your hair. No, I'm not coloring my hair. It's the lighting in here. People keep saying that. My hair is the same color it's always been. I'm trying to see like what it would look like that would be different. You can see my receding hairline, which is lovely. Um, no, I'm not coloring my hair. Um, if I did, I would do like, like I said, I'd go blonde. I'd be a himbo. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I don't even know what I saw this year. Uh, did they ever explain how Tarzan shaves? Uh, Carefully. He takes like one of those fish that have like the nose looks like a saw, and he does that. It's like Superman. He has to reflect it off a mirror, right? Newt, I watched the first video with Amber, and I remember the last live stream. You said people were gonna think you're boning. Yeah, it feels like you're boning. Well, leave that in a comment then. Because I want her to see that to see if it changes her demeanor at all. Because apparently her boyfriend was none too pleased that we spent the whole day together, at my apartment and then out, getting drinks and stuff like that. But I thought it was funny. I have this little thing called willpower and respect, crazy, right? But no, you're my friend, but we do have an energy, but that's anybody. Like if you watch any video I do with, any of my female friends, we do have because I've slept with all of my female friends basically, you know. You may not be boning, but you're sexually attracted to one another and each enjoy each other's company and clearly have, yeah, I mean, when we were younger, we were fucking wild, man. Like, that was like we still lived with our parents at that. Well, she lived with her grandfather. Um, but yeah, and so we were both in college still, so there's a lot of back seats, and stuff like that. I just there was some really funny stories that she and I were kind of going back over recently, and I was like, oh my God, I forgot about that. Honestly, she just seems like fun. What's up, everybody? Happy Thanksgiving. No, she's very fun. I genuinely enjoy her company. You look like someone who enjoys getting cucked. There's no extra chairs in my apartment. I want to create the cuck chair, like a licensed cuck chair. You know how there's like a Bible in every hotel room, but there's also a cuck chair, but like there should be like a brand cuck chair. I don't get that whole thing. It's just never, I don't get it. But yeah, that's me. But yeah, no, we have good chemistry together. And but yeah, people need to leave comments so that we have things to work off of so that, I can make her uncomfortable or create some comedy out of that. But yeah, and then as far as Mets is super busy. Yeah, like George Clooney's chair and burn after reading. That's pretty much what I was thinking of. Mets has been busy. I moved. The last time we talked, I sent them something on Instagram to check out, and then we were kind of talking about that we're gonna film sometime in December. I have a funny T-shirt ideas, some really funny ones. Uh, can't say yet, still thinking. I had to come up with for Florida Man. He wears all these novelty T-shirts, so I had to keep coming up with like like touristy t-shirts or like dirty t-shirts, and we came up with some really fucking funny ones. And then some that were too dirty for it, you know. How's editing going for Amityville? It's going slow. We're adding a lot of digital effects. And you know, and the pacing is the thing. There's a chunk of the movie which it didn't come out the way that I wanted it to, just because the two of the actresses were not really getting what we were going for, despite, you know, that I had to give a line reading, which I don't like doing, like say it this way. So I've been mitigating that with a lot of quicker editing and a lot of B-roll and stuff like that. Make it feel a little bit bigger, but also kind of take away from some performances that just feel flat to me. But some of the segments we've put together are really, really fun. Are my bunch of a book reader. Yeah, I have, not gonna turn the camera around, but I have stacks and stacks of film books, film theory books, biographies, autobiographies, graphic novels, just books about how things work too. Like I like to read about how like shit fits together and works. But yeah, I'm a big reader. I'm constantly up like used bookstores and stuff like that whenever I'm around, because there's just always, you never know what you're gonna find. There's always just cool, weird shit. And I grew up, you know, some of you are my age or older. You remember a time before the internet where if you wanted to learn things, like you had to go look for it in a book, you know, you couldn't just type it in your phone and get it. But I still have a lot of those film books and shit like that that I had when I was a kid. Favorite movie novelization? Hmm. You know what my absolute favorite one is Funhouse. The novelization by I think it was Dean Koontz wrote it, is way better than the movie, and I like the movie. The movie's got some of my favorite set design ever. Uh, would put Florida Man in a heavy metal magazine. There is a heavy metal aesthetic to some of the stuff, because that was definitely a big influence on me when I was growing up, because it was the first book that I ever saw that had like explicit gore and explicit sexuality as a kid. And I just loved the kind of artwork. So yeah, reading comics your whole life, it looked so different. Feels like a fun game to come up with some Florida Man shirts that he had names he had to wear. Yeah, it was yeah, it was a lot of bouncing ideas off of the producer and the artist, and just coming up with things that we can use. And there was a lot of like old puns and dirty jokes that I had in other scripts, so I pulled them out and I put it into that. You know, like dumb things like breaking hearts and ripping farts or something like that, like dumb shit like that. And yeah, but funnier. We'll get, you know, there's funnier ones in there. But yeah, that book, we've just been sitting on the 6 issues now. We did all of the redesign for the people who aren't part of the book anymore, so we don't have the likeness rights issues. And now it's just been sitting until this company comes through with a marketing plan. And then once they get a marketing plan together, I've had I've had the stuff for Previews magazine forever now. So we'll sell it their previews and go from there and see what happens. I hope it does well. I've been talking about it for 3 years with you guys. We got 30 people in here. Wow. I'm gonna choke on camera on a Sour Patch Kid, so you guys get to watch that. You enjoyed the issue you have. Well, I appreciate that. And so you have the ash can, the actual first issue, aside from being in color and stuff like that. There's more pages too. We cut it down to be 25 pages for the ash can, but it's longer. I just finished watching a movie and decided to pop on YouTube, and here you are. Well, yes, I'm here. I got home from work at 7 o'clock. I've worked 70 plus hours this week. I don't have to be in work tomorrow until 2 o'clock. So I was like, fuck it, I'm going to sit on here and chat with any of you fine folks and see what's up. So far, what we've established is that people think I wear a hairpiece and that I dye my hair, which I don't. And then I told my turkey story. The only thing that was open today was Wawa, which, if you don't know, it's a gas station, but it has like a deli inside. They make sandwiches and shit like that. and I ordered a hot turkey bowl, which was a hot turkey with mashed potatoes and gravy and stuffing. And when the thing got to me, there was no turkey and it was just all the other stuff. And I was like, that makes sense. That's my luck. Um, so that's kind of my day so far. And then I was telling you, anybody who's joining us, go to the Amber and Newt video that we posted on Wednesday, and please, please, please leave a comment because we're gonna do a Q&A video. And the gobbler, no, where they didn't offer the gobbler on DoorDash. I don't know why it wasn't on there, but the other one was, and because that's what I was gonna get. But yeah, go onto the video, the Amber and Newt video, and leave a comment, because we're going to do a Q&A and we're going to answer your questions and we're going to answer comments, stuff like that. So I need stuff that would be fun for us to kind of play off each other. So ask whatever you want to ask of her about me or vice versa. And I think that'll be pretty fun. Gives me an excuse to embarrass my friend. Let's see. We also learned that Newt laid pipe with it. Oh, pretty much, yeah, pretty much all of them. Someday, let's see, someday we'll have his own film verse and float in the Macy's parade. How's your puppets? The puppets have been sitting, well, which ones? We have the puppets we used for Amityville Pool Toy Massacre, and then we have the Plan 9 puppets, and all of them are in the studio up in Northeast Pennsylvania. They've been there for, a long time now. And one of the last parts of the movie we have to do is getting all the puppets scanned so that we can then manipulate them with CGI and stuff like that. Some of the puppets are still like those pool noodles with the eyeballs and stuff like that. They're still in Mark's garage, and the shark one is there as well. What do you do with the props when they're said and done? They just sit in either in a spare room in my apartment or at the studio. They used to be in the projection booth at the Wayne for the longest time, and then I moved out of there, and then they were in a side office at Screenwave for a while, and then I took everything. Well, they left everything outside of my front door, and thankfully people in the neighborhood didn't steal them, because I didn't live in a very safe area when I lived in Horsham. But no, they just kind of hang out, and then our goal, once the studio is kind of all up and running, is to have a little the stuff on display and all that kind of stuff. So it'd be kind of cool. We're building a display because the guy I'm working with has tons of arcade machines and pinball machines, and he also has a ton of film memorabilia. Like, he has some of the original matte paintings from Deep Star 6 and shit. It's pretty cool. Any interest in selling them? What do you want to do with them? No, I think I want to hold on to them, because it's special to me. It was something that, like, I came up with, and I sketched it, and I can't draw worth a fuck, and someone made it, and it exists now. So I think it'd be cool to just have them and have them on display and stuff like that. And also we can take them to conventions, and it's always more interesting when there's like a monster or something on the table. I think it just kind of gives us a different vibe. So I don't know. I just like having them. I like practical effects, Totally understand. It's very cool. They are cool. Like, we brought the Jaws Ferratu when Metz and I went out to Ohio last year, and people loved that. And then back in the old days, I used to bring the Rug Muncher puppet with me, and myself and the the redhead. We're always like taking pictures with that thing. It makes your booth pop at conventions. Yeah, definitely. It's different and cool, when we do the ones with the producer, he also has the projector and the big pop-up screen too. So we also are projecting, our trailers and short films and stuff like that. And, we do it up. My hope is that we will be at the AC HorrorCon in March to premiere the movie, because Darcy the Mail Girl, Diana Prince, she'll be there, and she's a big part of the movie. So we hope that we'll be at that one in March in Atlantic City, show the movie, and then hopefully have some merch for the movie, and then have the comic book as well. Because when we did the one in 2021, it was like right after all that shit happened that went down. It was bad. And I wasn't really prepared for that. Like, we didn't have the kind of stuff that we needed. We had the ash cans, but like not enough to be like a production company, Will there be a special screening? I hope so. I'd love to do, if we get the movie done in time and everything's ready, I'd love to do like the premiere there. I think that would be really cool. What we'll definitely go to that. Yeah, I mean, if we do, I'll put it out for everybody to let them know. Melissa will be there. I was talking to Melissa earlier today, actually. Um, she sent me a thing about like about your frame of mind. Like she's very into like not Taoism, but like it's like that. And about like disconnecting yourself from past trauma and guilt and stuff like that and moving forward with like a better frame of mind. She's always sending me that kind of stuff. And I have a very hard time doing that because I don't believe in that kind of stuff. And it, my mind is automatically negative. And I keep myself sharp and on things by fueling myself with rage. But I was watching the thing that she was sent me last night, and I was kind of like texting her back and forth about it today. I keep telling her now that she's off work, for her to come up here and hang out so that we can do a stream, and then figuring out when Metz is available too to come up and do a stream, and then figuring out when Amber's available again together to shoot videos. I'm trying to just have content and have people around to keep shooting content. And I'll be shooting with Fallon on Wednesday. She and I's last scenes in the movie. And then she's wrapped out, and I have just a couple green screen shots that I need to do of myself. And we're almost done. The movie's almost completely in the can. Melanie sends me pics of her, of her bush. I wouldn't be surprised, actually. But yeah, so it's we're almost done that one. The con is in Edison, not AC. Oh, all right, then we'll go to Edison then. We did that last year. I thought it was in AC for some reason, but the Edison one was cool too. We couldn't get a hotel though because it was sold out. So Metz and I were driving back and forth, and it sucked. Do you ever see practical effects puppets and claymation coming back instead of CGI? No. It's cheaper and easier to do CGI. It's more pliable as well, but I prefer practical. I'll always prefer practical. It's more fun to have something like that on set. It's also better for your actors to be acting against something. We had that big puppet that came out of the pool filter thing, and we did a couple change-o parts of it. So we had the actual the pool filter, and it had an internal thing where we could pour the smoke out of it and the light out of it, and then we could control the flap of the crack in it. So when the crack falls out, and when she comes and looks into it, a hand reaches out and grabs her neck. And then we built another one, which was work from the camera, where the hand that grabbed her was here, so we can create that kind of it moving up. So we did a couple stages till we revealed the monster itself. Like things like that, I think are more fun for actors because you're actually working off of something. It's there, it's tangible, and all the puppet shots that we got in this were really cool. What was the owner of the previous theater like? The one that I ran in Wayne. He and I got along really well until we didn't. I worked for him for almost 10 years, and I found out that I was getting taken advantage of. And I found that out because I got audited last year on my taxes. And that kind of ended our friendship and our working relationship. Metz can tell you, I was paying the bills for that place out of my own pocket sometimes to keep it going. I was, working 7 days a week, just trying to keep everything together. You should do a puppet movie. We're gonna do what's it called? The Plan 9 one eventually. All the puppets are made. We just have to find time to get everything done. Not enough time, especially when you gotta work to pay for this stuff, There's a con in May with Darcy. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Maybe it's May that I'm thinking of. That gives us more time. Because Rhonda Shear is going to be there as well, and I really want to meet her. I loved USA Up All Night when I was a kid. So we'll probably do the May one then. And, pool movie, springtime, it'll be good. Whenever we do the AC Con, and Kane Hodder, I saved his luggage one time. We were guests at Astronomicon in Michigan, and we were out front of the hotel waiting for a shuttle to pick us up. And Felicia Rose, I've done 2 movies with Felicia Rose now. Um, the guy who drove Kane Hodder to the hotel, he took his bag out of the back of the thing, and it started wheeling down the driveway into the street. And I ran down and grabbed Kane Hodder's bag and brought it back, and I was so proud of myself. What's your favorite TV show of all time? It would be a toss-up between Mystery Science Theater 3000 or The Simpsons. Yeah, it's a good lineup. I was looking at it recently. Um, yeah, I did Triple Xmas with Felicia Rose, and I did Cult of Blood with Felicia Rose as well. Dave Sheridan was also in that one. So was Nadia White. Who else was in that one? And then same guy I wrote that one for. I did Strange Toys, which has Michael St. Michaels, who is the Gracie Strangler, and Patty Mullen, who was Frankenhooker. She does a voice in it, and she was a producer on it. So I got to meet them. That was pretty cool. And Felicia Rose is always super nice whenever you meet her at cons. She sat across from us at Edison, and she was really, really nice. Yeah, so we're always just there as like the indie film market thing. Like we're not like, real guests or anything like that. Fallon was. They gave Fallon tables to like, because people will come see her. We're just there like, please come and look at our stuff. But if I get a couple movies made, then maybe they'll like me a little bit more. What do you think the worst of the Halloween movies? My least favorite is 5 of all of them. 5, Resurrection, and probably the first Rob Zombie one, simply because once it gets into the remake aspect of it, I find it less interesting. At least when it was doing its own thing, I didn't like it, but it was interesting. You watch James, a Japanese channel named Dead Men. He does really good movies. I'll check it out though. I've never heard of that one. I don't really watch a lot of YouTubers anymore. I watch a lot of YouTube like sports things, like about football, the football season and stuff like that. There's a couple movie guys that I like, but for the most part, I don't really watch a lot of YouTubers anymore. I used to have a lot of YouTube friends, but not anymore. And then it's like, you don't want to comment on things, because if that person is friends with other people, it's going to be a whole weird fucking thing. So I'm just like, I'll just stay out of everything. Let's see if I missed anything here. All right, I think I got everybody. You watch a lot of pure flicks. No, I used to have to. You mean the star of Swamp Zombies 2 doesn't get his own table? We do, but it's like we're in the indie film. It's still cool to be, even on the lineup and stuff like that. But no, when I used to have the Pittman Theater, super, super religious town, and I had to book a lot of those Pure Flix movies. I think it may even be before Pure Flix, like the Kirk Cameron movies, and it was 35 millimeter at that time, so I had to watch all of them. I'm not a religious person in any way, shape, or form, and it's like, forget the subject matter of them; they were just poorly made. I think I told Will, if he's still on here, about the Fireproof one where Kirk Cameron wasn't allowed to kiss anyone who's not his wife. So his wife had to stand in for the actress, but she's wearing like a really bad wig, and she's clearly standing on like a box, and they just left it in the movie, and I was like, nobody will notice. It's like an Ed Wood movie. But yeah, I saw a whole bunch of those back in the day. I had to screen them. Rolled my eyes so hard sometimes I hurt myself. But yeah, there was a whole bunch of them. So no, it's not something that I reach out for. I did see Brad Jones's Jesus Bro though, where he tried to make their version of a Pure Flix movie. I thought that one was really funny. I don't like religion in general, but yeah, I'm not gonna watch religious movies. I remember when Passion of the Christ was out. I do actually like The Last Temptation of Christ. That's one of my favorite scores of any movie ever. Um, let's see. You should come to horror flashback weekend in Chicago. That'd be cool. Kirk Cameron's Saving Christmas is awful. Yes, I saw that one in the theater too. Lana and I went to go see that just as a goof. Fireproof should have won Best Picture. I mean, we can rally for it, and see if people we can have a we could get Fireproof like reevaluated, like when The Shining came out, it got like Razzie for worst director, and now people look at it differently. We could do that. I think Brad covers a lot of religious films because he went to religious school. Yeah, yeah, he went to a Catholic school. He and I talked about that a bunch of times because he introduced me to Carmen, that like singer who's like a religious guy, and he was showing me these videos. I was like, that was a thing. And fuck, what was the other one he showed me? It was like a guy in a robot suit, and the robot like read you Bible passages. I don't remember what it was, but I remember him showing me a clip of that. His Carmen videos are great. Yeah, I didn't know about that stuff. Do you have any favorite best and worst convention stories? There's a YouTuber who spends a lot of them. Um, I did a thing coming up that's Convention Creeps, and it's a documentary. Nosferatu and Wolfman will be in theaters at the same time. What a time to be alive! I'm excited that monster movies are coming back. Should do a Biker Mice from Mars, but in the styles of the '70s biker movies. That'd be cool. Biker Mice from Mars was a little after my time. Colby. Yeah, Okay, Colby. Yes. All right. I just remember him showing me that because I'd seen Bible Man before, like through osmosis, I'd seen that, and a lot of those strange like religious things. Because I had friends who were growing up who were Christian, and like because you have like the what were those games that James covered that was like the Noah's Ark video game and shit like that. I had friends growing up who had those games. I had like Nintendo games and they had those, and they're like, "You want to play Nintendo?" And I was like, "Fuck yeah, man, we're gonna play like fucking Blades of Steel or Master Blaster or some shit." And they're like, "We're gonna play this Noah's Ark game," and I was just like, "Can we go outside and play baseball instead?" Bible Adventures, yeah, yeah, yeah. But I had friends who had those. Greetings and salutations, Professor Macabro. And it just I never understood it. I was just like, it's like Christian rock. I was like, just stop. Everyone knows all the best music is associated with the devil. Um, there's another religious thing too. Did a crossover with Colby. It's a sad man in a 5 o'clock shadow painted blue. Oh God. Oh, looking suave in my theater outfit. I was so fucking tired this morning. Um, yeah, I have to wear a shirt and bow tie. It's actually a tuxedo shirt, bow tie. I have to shine my shoes constantly, and I have to wear a jacket and all that. Veggie Tales I only knew about because we had the one movie uh, at Pittman. It ran for like a couple weeks, so I only knew what it was from that, but I've never actually seen it. Are there going to be any Christmas themed sodas this year? I don't know. That's usually what I look for you to enlighten me on that. I haven't seen anything out in stores yet. You gonna make a black man work on Friday? Yeah, Black Friday. I liked Zack and Mary Make a Porno. That movie it gets shit on by people. I thought it was really funny. I haven't seen any Christmas themed sodas this year. I'm trying. I don't like Christmas. I genuinely hate Christmas. But I have my reasons. A lot of bad shit happened to me on Christmas. Um, but yeah, the this time of year is always my least favorite because it's cold outside. We can't film stuff outside. But from everybody who I'm talking to about making projects, they seem to be excited for the winter. So Christian rock is the worst. There was I probably told this story before that we went to Six Flags Great Adventure in New Jersey amusement park, and the band DC Talk was playing, and they were like a Christian rock group, and the kid I was with was so fucking excited to see DC Talk. And we had to go into the like arena thing and sit, and I was like, "Oh, I have to go outside and go to the bathroom." And I just hung out, like just walking around the thing, so I didn't have to go back. to see DC talk, and his mom was like, "Where were you?" I was like, "Oh, I had diarrhea." So you seem like more of a Hanukkah guy. You know, I've never. I'm known for spinning the dreidel. Deception of a Generation is still the best cinema snob has ever done. I remember that one too. I just, like I never seen it, but I remembered it at the video stores. It was like those ones where it's those dudes who were saying that like every toy was like associated with the devil, like fucking Skeletor and stuff like that. I remember there was like a specialty section at video stores, and there would be like wrestling tapes there and aerobics tapes, and they had like a lot of religious tapes. And I just remember Snake Mountain from He-Man was on the box cover of it, so that's what I knew that one for. And he did. He also covered Rock It's Your Decision. That one I did see before at a like found like a worst found footage festival thing. So I saw that one before. So I grew up in like the era of like the Satanic Panic and stuff like that, where so there was a lot of those things that were always on TV. I do 100% for winter over summer. Feels cold, put three sweaters. Well, I hate being cold, man. I like being hot. Women are wearing less clothing. We're filming usually outside, but once we get the HVAC system completely finished, we'll let's see. The best Cinema Snob episode was the Oogie Loves and the Big Balloon Adventure. I don't know if I saw that one. I remember what was the one like Fun in Balloon Land. I remember that episode. I really liked of his. I've been watching his stuff for a long time. I'll still go back and rewatch stuff. The lead character in Rocket's Your Decision was so hateable and insufferable. Well, they always are, you know. Yeah, anybody like that's just fucking indoctrinating and brainwashing. Damn, women wear less clothing is a plus. You all right? See, I told you. We filmed the whole movie of girls in bikinis, so it was a good time. I need to make another one of those. But this next one will be the sci-fi one will be women in sheer white t-shirts covered in slime. So that'll be another look into my perverted psyche. It was Amber's like, I'm not doing any partial nudity, and I was like, we'll talk about it later. But it's not like the old days. It's harder to get people to fall in for my goofy ass ideas. But then we have people like that I worked with on some of the other I prefer girls and nothing. Yeah, it's just that it costs more. I don't have those kind of budgets, you know. Even getting nudity in this one was a good portion of the budget. Because we have four topless women in the movie, and there's six scenes of nudity in the movie, so you know that I wrote it. Yeah, living in Arizona, I prefer winter over summer. Yeah, I mean, when I lived out there in Tucson, it was like 100 degrees on Christmas, so that was different for me. But no, out there I could see it. Here, it's just like it gets depressing when it's fucking it's black outside at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And today was just like cold and windy and rainy, and I'm constantly taking the garbage out at the theater because we've been so busy. Like every time I go out there, I'm just like, this sucks, man. Like it was just nice out it felt like a couple days ago. It was actually 2 months ago because the last 2 months have just flown fucking by. But we'll see. Maybe this winter will bring a lot of really cool stuff, and then I'll be like, I love winter now because it reminds me of good stuff instead of just like being miserable. If they rebooted Three's Company, Newt's definitely Larry. I could do that, you know. No, yeah, I get. Well, yeah, if you put me in a place with two female friends of mine, you never know what's going to happen. For some odd reason, I used to get lucky. I used to, for some odd reason, attractive women used to like me. That wore off, but there was a time and a place. I guess I guess that was me peaking. That was probably that 15 to 20 years was the good times, and I didn't realize it. I looked up John Ritter just for that reason. Oh, okay. I love John Ritter. We were just talking about Sling Blade a couple days ago. Great fucking movie. Life has turned me into a goddamn Vulcan. Uh, yeah. It used to be at the old theater. Did anyone famous stop by? Yeah, we had the guy who played Biff in Back to the Future because he's from Wayne, PA. M. Night Shyamalan, and we also had like some Eagles players, some Phillies players. He didn't die of HIV. That's your theory. Text me that. John Ritter died of HIV. I was like, no, he didn't. He died of a heart attack. Yeah, we had a lot of athletes, and then we used to have the Villanova University. Their basketball team won 2 national championships. They used to come by a lot. Yeah, we had some cool people in there. When I was in Connecticut, Martha Stewart came in one time. Richard Gere came in one time. Who else? There's always like weird, like random famous people that you would see. And when I had the theater in Stone Harbor, didn't John Cena go see a movie with you? Yeah, we went to the Regal Theater that I was a manager at in Morristown, New Jersey, and we saw Underworld 2. Stay Tuned is underrated. Yeah, I like Stay Tuned. The Undertaker did ask me if I was okay because I had a heat. I passed out from the heat, and when I woke up, he was giving me a Gatorade. That was surreal. We used to have wrestlers in for signings all the time at Hall of Heroes. Rey Mysterio, Goldberg, Triple H, The Rock's dad. Who else did we have? John Cena. Who else did we did a couple people. I'm not a wrestling guy, but I just remember like long lines of people. Yeah, and I used to live across the street from Jimmy Superfly Snuka, and he was a fucked up dude. So yeah, that's that anecdote. See if I missed anything here. That's wild. Stay tuned. Didn't John Cena see a movie with you? Okay, we got everybody. We're caught up now. Yeah. So yeah, we because the movies in certain places. Oh, you know what the other one was? 2009. The Stone Harbor Theater. I met Taylor Swift, and I had no idea who she was. She was a country singer at that time, and I had a picture with her that used to be on my Facebook page. And the only person I think who still had a copy of it doesn't speak to me anymore. So I'll never see that one again. But yeah, I had no idea who she was. And people were like, oh, she's the country singer. And the owner of the theater in Stone Harbor wanted me to take a picture with her in front of the marquee. And then, she went on to be like the most famous person in the world. And I was like, oh, fuck yeah. Because her family owned a house down there. She's from Reading, Pennsylvania, which is a couple hours away from here. But she grew up, Philly adjacent, We had Bradley Cooper come into the Narberth Theater one time as well. I guess he was in town for a high school reunion or something like that. Hulk Hogan? No, I never had Hulk Hogan. Really wasn't a lot of the 80s guys. A lot of those guys used to do signings before I started working there. Chris Benoit, no, we never had Chris Benoit in. There used to be in the back room. Ritter got HIV from that woman from Problem Child. That was his wife in real life. No one knew who said that till that dude took the microphone off her. At least that's my memory of it. Oh, okay. Newt met Tay-Tay. I did, and I had no idea who she was. I've seen The Big Show in person. He's the largest human being I've ever seen. Yeah, we had. I'm trying to think now what the back room looked like. There was a wall of all the framed autographs that the owner, Sal, who owned the comic book store, all the different people who came through, he had them all sign a poster and stuff like that. Happy Turkey Day. Hello, man. Hope you're having a good one. Just got home about an hour ago from work. Put in 70 plus hours this week. I'm exhausted. But thought I would sit down and chat with all of you people. And again, I want to see comments on the Newton Amber video. Did Stallone ever stop by? Nope. I met Sylvester Stallone once. My friend Tim Carr was shooting Rocky Balboa. He's the guy in the movie who's friends with Rocky's son. He's the guy who's like little Rocky. So he was filming that scene, and I was working for Diane Heary on location. So I got to meet Sylvester Stallone because Tim Carr was like, Newt has a comic book store, and Sylvester Stallone apparently is a big comic book guy. So he shook my hand, and that was kind of cool. He's probably my second favorite actor of all time. So that was pretty awesome. But no, Sly is not aware. Was Stallone aware? Ah, see, you beat me to it. I've heard people say that before. Met Kane at Comic-Con, and he's huge, at least compared to the borderline little people. Okay. He's the dude who wears the mask, right? I see, I know nothing about wrestling. If Mets was here, they know all this shit. I just know like there used to be like wrestling video games and shit, and like I would play them with friends like on Sega or Super Nintendo, and I would just pick whoever looked the coolest because I had no allegiance to anybody. But yeah, so Stallone's a cool dude, and his daughters are freaking hot. Yes, I did. Yes, they are indeed. Um, your friend seemed nice. I'd smoke a joint with her. Well, we did. We smoked on Tuesday. The last video we shot, we just finished, so it looks like we just got done fucking. So I'm hoping that that's what people are asking the question of. Is like, what was going on there? Because her hair's all messed up and stuff. So you never know. You never know what could happen when you come here. You know, I have my charms. Um, what do you think is the worst Rocky movie? Part five. Rocky five is definitely my least favorite. I don't like the whole faux Don King. Oh, what's going on, creamy fart? I don't like the whole Tommy Gunn thing either, and it ends with a street fight. I don't know. That's definitely the weakest of all of them. I like taking it back to Philadelphia and kind of getting back to its roots. Uh, the worst Rocky movie is Rocky Horror. All right, you win this round. But even a bad Rocky movie is a good Rocky movie. I love that franchise so much. The first movie is so fucking fantastic. And and even like even what they did with the Creed movies, I thought except for the last Creed movie, I really wasn't as big a fan of that one. But I thought the first two like really handled those characters really really well. We're in Philly where the Rocky movies are an institution. Um, yeah, the last Creed movie just felt like I don't know. It was trying a little too hard to be a lot of things. Visit Newt's house. You go in for a movie and stay for yeah. Hey, nothing happened. We don't. I'm a yeah, but Creed. Yeah, yeah. Amber is a tea lady from Youngblood. That's a good reference right there. Let's see. Didn't Lloyd Kaufman do work on the first Rocky? Yes, he did. He did. He was a location manager on it. Um, he did a lot of stuff back then, back in the day. And then he's in the final countdown as Lloyd. Um, but yeah, he worked on that because they were based out of New York, so they worked out of Philly. Um, but yeah, Youngblood. I haven't seen that movie in forever. But the Tea Lady, that's a good pull. Um, no, nothing happened, man. Just you know, you guys think I'm some kind of slut or something like that. I used to be. I used to be a big slut, and it got me in a lot of trouble. It's what happens when you think with the wrong head. Let's see if I missed anything here. All right, I got everything caught up. But yeah, go and comment on that video so we have something to talk about when she comes back again. I wanna have some comments for her or some questions for her so we have an excuse to make a funny, you know, personal video where we can play off each other. So I'll expect those from you guys. Thanks for broadcasting. I need a hangout. Yeah, man. Yo, you were messaging me earlier. I was trying to get work done. Lana messaged me. It's like now that I'm like sitting down, I've got like a million people messaging me. I still haven't seen that Rocky 4 director's cut. I haven't either. I remember we had it. It was a streaming event, but I didn't get it. They took the robot out. I like the robot. Yeah, he changed the editing to be more like the first two movies and less like an MTV kind of thing. Um, Apologize for my part in the onslaught. No, it's fine. I was trying to get to everybody while we were going. You were messaging me on Discord. Other people are messaging me on Facebook, and Lana's messaging me on Instagram. Um, Nobody bothers me all day, and then when I go to do this, everybody wants to talk. So that's fine. I'm so popular. Not at all. I'm just sitting there sometimes like, boy, I wish people would talk to me. Um, but yeah, no, I haven't seen that Rocky director's cut either, but I want to. Just as a completionist, you know. But I like Rocky 4. It's definitely it sticks out like a sore thumb, but Newt, a gentleman has no memory, and leave it at that. We all know you're a chick magnet. I wish. I wish I was a chick magnet. Newt, I love you. I love you too. You know. Have you ever dealt with any terrible bosses like Don Rickles and Dirty Work? Yeah, I've had a lot of terrible bosses. I had a boss stealing from me. Um, I worked for a media company with a terrible boss and a terrible producer as well. You know, I've worked with a lot of super shitty people over the years, but unfortunately, those shitty people are you know, uh, they have enough dirt on their bosses that nothing will ever be done, so they'll continue to keep failing upwards, you know? As I work 75 hours in a week so that I can afford to finish this fucking movie and pay my bills at the same time. And give my cat a better life. She's my only friend, right? Doesn't care. You love Thunder Lips, the ultimate male. Who doesn't? Rocky 3 is great. Rocky 3 is so farcical. You know, that you got Thunder Lips and you got Clubber Lang and stuff like that. And it's when they're becoming like WWE people. Metz would strike you for saying only friend. No, well, Metz isn't here right now, you know? I have a similar situation at work. It sucks. That's why I like running things now where, you know, when it was the same thing at the Wayne for almost a decade. The owner just stayed out of the way and just let me, I had a company account. I paid the bills. I booked the films. I did all the maintenance. Nobody fucking, nobody bothered me. Well, the customers bothered me and the employees bothered me. But beyond that, completely self-sufficient. I know how to do this. I know how to run these places, you know? And Metch is a very, very good friend of mine. Metch just hasn't been around. Metch is like busy, and I live super far away now. So Metch is coming in December at some point so that we can live stream together and we can shoot some content together. Yeah. Are margins really that slim for film houses? Yeah, they are. Especially, because the window is so short to go to streaming and stuff like that. You really have to make your money that first weekend. Movies really aren't allowed to have legs anymore. And once they get to a certain point and the studio sees that they're gonna be able to have a bigger cut from the theaters, then they start fucking with your percentages, or they wait forever to pay you. That's why concession is so expensive at movie theaters, because that's where we make all of our money. Now, granted, at my theater, a large popcorn is $3.75. A ticket is $5. You know, candy's like $2.25 to $3. A bottle of water is $1.25. You know, what is the most annoying coworker you ever dealt with? Next question. Because there's a couple people there that would be the most annoying. Do you work in 1990? No, we just keep the building's 100 years old. It's a single screen single screen theater, 350 seats, and we keep our prices as low as possible. You know, those prices are insane. They are, yeah. And again, Moana 2 is out right now. I did 3 straight sellout shows yesterday. We made over 10 grand in a day, you know. The one who would miss work and show up drunk half the time, yeah. I didn't have to work with him as closely. I just had to fix a lot of his mistakes. I wish drive-in still existed. They do. We have Becky's drive-in, Schwankweiler's drive-in, and the Mahoning drive-in, all like literally 30 minutes to an hour away from where I'm sitting right now. I'm telling you, popcorn is the 19th century thinking. Theaters need to, I'm sorry, pasta. Somebody was saying recently that they wanted to do French fries, buckets of French fries. I thought that was a good idea. We sell a fuck ton of popcorn. We did like 10 grand over yesterday just in concessions. It was crazy. During the pandemic, my friend did a drive-in at the mall parking lot. It was great, actually. Yeah, I was talking about that earlier. That the company I used to work for, um, the owner had me look into what it would cost to put a drive-in together. So I did all the legwork and all that kind of stuff, and then he forgot about it and changed his mind. So it was just a waste of time. But I'm happy that we keep our prices low because this isn't a very wealthy community right here. Working at a drive-in is a dream job. Yeah, the people I know who own the Schwenkweilers, what did the figures look like? Like our numbers, I don't know. We had like a $6 per cap all day, which was great. Pop-up drive-in though would be awesome. Yeah, they're pretty cool. It's like 18 for IMAX. Well, we don't have IMAX, but we have a big screen. I have a fantastic sound system behind the screen. What's the point of making a sequel to Moana? They're making a live action. Yeah, I don't get that at all. The whole live action thing. I'm dreading The Lion King because I fucking hated the last one. There's a live action Lilo and Stitch coming, and I'm just like, God damn it, stop, make something new. But no, they're not going to do that. They're just going to keep wringing the dead corpses, for all that they're worth. It's like The Substance, like getting every last drop out, This second Moana is not as good as the first one, but the songs are catchy, and the animation is absolutely beautiful. I caught most of the second one today because I was working by myself. So I was we're in the theater the whole time. Moana 2 was supposed to be a TV series or something, but they moved it to theaters for some reason. Oh, okay. What sleeper Disney hit could be good with a live action coat of paint? Mouse Detective, Sword in the Stone. Sword in the Stone would be cool. I don't know, a live action version of the Legend of Sleepy Hollow one would be cool. Ever fire anyone for sexual harassment? Yes, I have. I've had to fire over 3 people for sexual harassment, and then I also had to, at the media place, had to meet with a couple people who said some really anti-gay and anti-trans things, and had to sit through the HR thing with that. But that's okay. They're popular YouTubers, so they're allowed to say that stuff. Red live action Hercules is going to be the focus on Hades, which is cool. That's cool. Wouldn't they make more money instead of wasting money with live action? Just re-release the old movies everywhere else. Yeah, I mean that would make more sense, right? Like the live action Lion King is like, how are you going to call this live action? There's nothing live action about this. They're fucking CGI lions, And cats make 2 faces. You can't really emote with that, right, Elvira? She makes 1 face right now. Disdain. What up? How you doing? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know anymore. And then it's like Captain America is going back for more reshoots, and the Thunderbolts is going back for more reshoots. I was like, it's hard to get excited about anything anymore because it's like just a package that has no, artistic direction to it anymore. I'm very excited about Nosferatu. I'm very excited about the Wolfman. They're gonna bring back James Woods' crazy ass to play Hades. I doubt that. I doubt Disney's gonna do that. Surprised Elvira hasn't dropped the phone. No, I have it elevated so she can't right now. I got a tripod the other day when Amber came over, just so I had, make it look a little bit more professional in here. He was a good Hades. I like that movie. Gerald Scoff did all the animation designs. He did Pink Floyd's The Wall, the movie as well. We all know you got a tripod. Christy's dad called me that. I'm excited about Thundercock Jones. I was thinking about that all day today, too. Michael Keaton would be a pretty sick Hades. Yeah, I mean, he's hot right now. Reshoot movies and reshoot just keep increasing the budget. It's how to stay excited. Yeah, I mean, Red 1 cost $250 million, and it didn't look like it cost $250 million. So you're telling me you bought a tripod for Amber's appearance? Well, she expected a tripod when she got here, but you know, she didn't know that it was going to be for the camera. Wild Robot was blown out of the water. But Wild Robot, yeah, Wild Robot was great, and completely surprising. I didn't know what to expect because I didn't like the trailer, and I was like, wow, this is really fucking good and like deep. It didn't talk down to little kids, and it had like emotional weight to it. It reminded me more of like an '80s kids movie, which I appreciated. R.I.P. Joe Piscopo. Joe Piscopo died. I didn't know that. Um, was it Dead Heat was the movie he was in. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I just it's hard. Movies are too expensive, and it's impossible to make their money back. Um, really need Don Bluth to do movies again. I agree. I fucking love Don Bluth. I was watching a documentary that somebody did not too long ago about Don Bluth Studios, and it's incredible the work they were able to do. J.B. Abrams directed Hot. Yeah, I saw that. He died yesterday. The movie's having $200 million budget is unsustainable. It is, yeah. Um, let's see. Fievel's due for a remake for a reboot. Um, I liked Fievel Goes West. I thought that one was really fun. Um, with Dom DeLuise as the cat. I remember seeing that in the theater at the Atco Multiplex. I just remember there's a scene where like the old dog or whatever is teaching the cat how to shoot, and then when he finally does the thing, like the girl cat starts making out with him, and he's like, "I taught him everything he knows." And then the cat start making out, and he's like, "Except for that." Ralph Bakshi was another one. His work was just fucking amazing. Do you remember the cartoon in the '80s called The Littles? Yeah, I remember that. It's literally Tombstone. I love Tombstone's one of my favorite movies of all time. Right, Elvira? Yeah, American Tail I remember seeing in the theater. And yeah, Five Goes West. I saw both of them. I saw Land Before Time was around that time. I remember those. We were at the movies like every fucking weekend when we were kids because there was like something exciting every week. Now it just seems like because they're banking so much on these Disney live action remakes, they're banking so much on the Marvel movies that everything else kind of gets pushed around and pushed off. And you really got to go looking for shit. Like, you know, this year you had like something like Abigail, which I really liked, The Substance I really liked. You know, but those aren't like mainstream movies. Rockadoodle, I liked Rockadoodle. Um, Tombstone should have a song and dance number at the end of it, kind of like Blazing Saddles, you know. uh, Secret of the Nim. Oh yeah, I remember that one. Secret of Nim, which is like they were the little mice or whatever. I remember that one. Um, it's no Watership Down. I remember seeing that one as a kid and being like, "This isn't fun. I don't like this at all." But that's back when kids weren't pussies and you could do shit like that. The voice of Millhouse said she's retiring after this year. Yep, I saw that. But that show's been on for over 30 years, man. It's wild that we're so old. Simpsons is coming to a close. Yeah, I mean, Tracy Ullman show started in 1987. First Simpsons episode was 1989. Plague Dogs is another gut punch. Yeah, that's another one. What's the other one? It was like Fidelio or something. It was like a French movie about cats and it was like fucked up. What's the Rodney Dangerfield? Rover Dangerfield. Yeah, Rodney Dangerfield was Rover Dangerfield. Did you ever see The Land Before Time? Yeah, I've seen. I think I've seen all of them. All Dogs Go to Heaven. I saw that in the theater. Um, Man, we're so old. Yeah, we are. It's okay. Family Guy has another century to go. What was the other one? There was All Dogs Go to Heaven. There was what was there was another there was Fievel and Company, which like was like or Oliver and Company. I think Billy Joel did a voice in it. Uh, when the Littlefoot's mom died. Yeah, I remember that. What are some classics you haven't seen? I did. I saw Titan. I was working in the theater when Titan AA came out. I was working in the theater when Scanner Darkly came out. Brave Little Toaster is good. Rescuers Down Under, saw that one. There was two of those, right? There was The Rescuers and The Rescuers Down Under. Let's pitch them All Cats Go to Hell. I can see that. Um, we've gone past the point of being called retro, and now we're vintage. No, I agree with that, and I feel like it some days too. I'm just trying to. There was a bunch of like animal talking animal kids movies that I remember seeing, and now I'm blanking on it. Rescuers Down Under was kick ass. Yeah, that one was. Yeah, I saw Sight Knee. Matt Damon was the voice of it. It was around the time. It was like a year before Final Fantasy: The Spirits Within. Fern Gully, I saw in the theater. Yep. With Robin Williams as the Bat. Fritz the Cat I didn't see until much later on video. Fritz the Cat, Heavy Metal, Coonskin, stuff like that. I remember seeing on video. But yeah, Fritz the Cat was definitely an interesting one. I think My Neighbor Totoro got an American release. Yeah, I remember when that one was out. Titan A is a spiritual follow-up to Heavy Metal. Yeah, like a softer version of it. Cool World I saw in the theater, Hollywood. I think I have the poster for Cool World somewhere. Brad Pitt is in that one. Kim Basinger is Hollywood. Yeah, I like that movie, but a lot of people don't. It's the better version of Monkey Bone. SWAT Cats kick ass. It was SWAT Cats, something of Moo Mesa, Street Sharks, Samurai Pizza Cats. Remember those? The Stone Protectors, which was like Ninja Turtles meets the Troll Dolls. SWAT Cats was too edgy and got canceled. I never saw it, but I remember what they looked like. Cool World basically tried to make you want to hump cartoons. Well, I know a lot of people who really want to hump cartoons. Some of them are in our Discord. Is it true Troma was the first to release My Neighbor Totoro? I don't think so. I don't know. I would think that probably not. I don't know. Ryan Reynolds is doing Biker Mice. Oh, that's a thing? I didn't realize that. Iron Giant. Iron Giant was wonderful. I didn't see that one in the theater. I didn't see that until I worked at Blockbuster, and I got it. Bashki did, yep, Lord of the Rings. I have the trailer in 35 millimeter for that. I remember I wanted to review Cool World at the old channel and dress up someone as Hollywood, but that got shot down. I remember he didn't want to do that one, so we didn't do that one. They need to bring back Centurions. Yeah, man. I had all the Centurion toys when I was a kid. You could snap like parts to them, like fucking jet wings and shit like that. I love those. That would have worked for sure. Yeah, I agree. But I got my movie recommendations from Stormfront. So it's all Birth of a Nation. I saw the Iron Giant in theaters. I wish I did. Since you didn't do Cool World, was Roger Rabbit a compromise? No, Roger Rabbit is what inspired me to do Cool World, because everybody liked that outfit, and I was like, we should do this. So I showed her that one, and then someone else shot it down because I think that her looking good was getting more followers for her, and then me orchestrating that was taking attention away from him. So it didn't, yeah. The Roger Rabbit review was nice. Yeah, I mean, it was more fun after the review when it was just she and I at the studio. You gonna cook dinner? All right, man, have a good night. And Thunder, like I was telling you about, the premise still holds the sword and sorcery, which is fun. Okay. Let's see. I thought that was the point. Yeah, me too. But what do I know about anything, I said, I'll go start my own channel with hookers and blackjack. And then I did. And now I'm sitting on my living room floor. Yeah, I don't know. There was a lot of cool shit that I wanted to do there. We wanted to do Clue. We had a bunch of cool stuff for that. There was a whole bunch of reviews with costumes and guests and stuff. But yeah, do Cool World on your channel. I will. I think I can find someone to wear that costume. I bet you I can get Fallon to wear that costume. She'd probably look a lot better in it too. her proportions, Fallon's proportions are a little bit more like that, you know. The costumes and the bits were fun. Yeah, and that was, you know, you could always tell which ones I wrote and did and the ones I didn't, you know, because there's always out of character for me and I didn't want to do certain things, but had to. Do Space Jam and have Fallon dress as Lola Bunny. Should do that too, I bet. She's always looking for excuses to wear costumes. Um, or not be in costumes, you know. What was it like working at Blockbuster? I worked for a franchise and it's not a corporate one. So we were like way off the beaten path. We were like out in the woods in a strip mall. And I don't know, it was weird. I wouldn't mind seeing Fallon as Hollywood. I'll ask her, you know. Or who else I got coming up? I got Jessa Flux coming around. She's another one who would look good in one of those costumes. Melissa's always looking to wear costumes. You know, we'll figure something out. You know. Yeah, well, I don't know. Blockbuster was interesting. I was the general manager of it, uh, and I met some interesting people there. But Sydney Sweeney as Hollywood, I could see that. I'm a big fan of her. But I don't know. I wasn't crazy about it, and we were always so slow. So it was always just kind of me standing behind the counter, like you know, reading magazines or like hanging out with ex-girlfriends and stuff like that who would come in, or you know. And I just remember like the big stacks of tape, put it under like and hold it under your chin. Do Varsity Blues and have Melissa wear a whipped cream bikini. I'll run that past her. You know. Was it Ali Larder? Was that? Okay, I'm having horn dog. My bad. That's the one good thing I have is all my female friends, they get the gag and they're fine with wearing the costumes, you know. I'm at the age where, yeah, Sydney Sweeney is smoking hot, but I'm not. I'm old enough to be her dad. Mel as an Asian schoolgirl named Thong is my dream. I'll make that happen. I told her that she has a secret admirer, because she and I talk pretty much every other day, right, Elvira? Ever see the Three Ninjas movie? I saw the first two. There was the Rocky Loves Emily was the first one, and then the second one was the one with Hulk Hogan, right? I saw that one as well. I also saw Surf Ninjas. That was another one that was popular at that time. Um, she's got a couple secret admirers. All right, Melissa's well, both Mels are awesome. You know, I'm lucky to have cool people like that in my life who are want to come out and be part of all my stupid fucking movie ideas and stuff like that. So, you know, Mel was definitely the easiest to work with. Mel Heflin was definitely the easiest to work with on the Amityville shoot. Some of the other ladies were an issue. And one of them doesn't seem to get the fact that I'm not happy with her because she keeps messaging me and commenting on my shit on Facebook, and I'm just not responding because I want her to know that like you know, she really fucked shit up. I made the movie, you know, hurt certain scenes, and this was somebody who I was good friends with, and I had around here and part of the channel and stuff. I think Hulk Hogan was in the fourth Three Ninjas movie. Okay, well, those are the only two I've seen. It was like Lonnie Anderson. Can I get a scene with Mel at least as an extra? Sure, why not? If you're around, you know. And we'll all go out to this town in the Dakotas, it's theater, and shoot a movie there, and you guys can fly out and join us. Um, I started outlining that today, actually. Kind of a cool House on Haunted Hill meets Waxworks meets, you know, Boglins or Ghoulies kind of idea. So I think that could be kind of cool. And I was using a lot of the Jettison parts of Satan's Slumber Party because when I sold that script off, they trimmed a bunch of stuff out to do their own version of it. So I just retained all those parts, and I was like, oh, I can use all the little monster things in my own movie. So it's cool. I've always really wanted to write another little rubber monster movie because I wrote Bite Size. You guys could try Rocky Mountain Oysters. Mets did. Mets had those when they were out at that biker thing when they were out there. I know what they are. I don't know if I would be a fan. But I'm excited to go, you know, I'm excited to be shooting more movies, man. I'm excited. Well, I'm excited to get this movie done and edited together so everybody can see what the fuck we've been doing for the last 5 months. And then excited to jump into the sci-fi one next because you guys are gonna flip a shit when you see these sets. They're fucking awesome. And it's gonna be like Creepazoid meets Night of the Creeps meets Slither meets, Tank Girl kind of vibe and Festoids. That's a fun one. And I'm going to try to bring out a bunch of different actresses who I couldn't get on Amityville to come out and do this one. So we have a constant revolving cast of sexy ladies. Rocky Mountain oysters have a cream filling, they say. Yeah, Yeah, Night of the Creeps is great. Very underrated. What holiday themed slasher would you do that hadn't already been done? Well, I did Black Friday before there was a Black Friday movie, but somebody made the actual movie. If you go on the channel, you could see the Black Friday trailer that I made, where it was a slasher in a mall. That one was a lot of fun. I had a sex scene in that one. Newt would be great at making Rocky Mountain oysters if that's the case. That's true. I'm just low, loose, and full of juice. Right, Elvira? Please don't knock that over. I don't ask you to do anything all day except not knock that over. I have a bunch of boxes stacked up because I have to break them down and take them out, and she just keeps knocking them over, and I have to keep going back in there. Happy Thanksgiving. Yo, what's going on, man? How are you? Hope your new job is doing well. My new job is exhausting. I put in well over 70 hours this week. I'm beat, but I don't have to go in tomorrow until like 2 o'clock, so I figured I'd jump on here and talk to you guys. They're bull testicles. Yep. And I'm going to remind everybody again, go to the Newton Amber video and please leave a comment so that we can do a Q&A video. I need everybody to go on there and leave something. The good news is you're still making money. Hell yeah, man. Favorite Disney movie? Favorite Disney movie? That's a good question. I love WALL-E. I think WALL-E is a great movie. I'm ready for 2025. Yeah, it has been. But again, the last 3 years just feel like one elongated year. So I'm excited to finally see greener pastures. I think that'll be good. What are some other Disney movies that I like? There's some live action ones that I like. I don't know. Let's think about it. Mighty Ducks. Yeah, I did a Mighty Ducks review. I have a Mighty Ducks jersey in the other room. But that was a good one. Actually, as cheesy as 2 and 3 are. Well, 2 is cheesy, then 3 like tries to be serious. Pixar showed the trailer recently, something new. I forgot what it was. How's your health? Yeah, I haven't. I had 2 surgeries. The hardest part of 2024 was the last 3 years. Yeah, yeah, you're telling me, man. 2021 was the worst fucking year of my life, and it still reverberates. But as for health stuff, I had 2 surgeries, and feeling a little bit better. I haven't had the kind of problems. Ever see Black Christmas? Which version? The Bob Clark one, the early 2000s one, or the super woke one from a couple years ago? Yeah, I haven't had any problems with that recently. My knee's still fucked up, but I have to go back for a checkup pretty soon and get my bladder thing looked at again just to make sure that they got all the scar tissue out of there. That was painful as fuck. And there was a period of time last year where I thought I had prostate cancer from what the doctors were telling me. Thankfully, it wasn't that, but I had 2 extremely painful, 2 extremely painful surgeries. It's crazy that you know the worst year of your life in the exact month. But yeah, October 1st, 2021 started the downfall, that went all the way till, to now. Like, they still have people who, want to be dicks, but I've gotten better at kind of dealing with it. The woke one is not Black Christmas. No, it was like, because it had like toxic masculinity. There was like a black goo coming out of a statue. How's Blue Sky going? Did you the new furry community? I haven't been back on to Blue Sky. I have to go check that out. I know a bunch of people told me they followed me there, but I haven't gone back over to see what the situation is over there. I only signed up for it because I need more places to fucking promote the movie. People who got onto Twitter early got, more eyes on them. I'm trying to sell a fucking movie in a comic book. I started going to therapy this month, and it's really helps me. You ever try it? Yeah, I was in therapy for about 2.5 years. It was very, very helpful. I stopped just because I couldn't afford it. There's so much stuff going on, and I just couldn't afford it. But it was definitely very, very helpful. Just even to have somebody to talk to, and you don't have to worry about, I heard Blue Sky is super chill and much less toxic shit so than Twitter. I've kind of I've changed it to where my the algorithm, I don't see a lot of that stuff. And but now the thing is, like, people you blocked can now see your stuff again. And I only know that because the Hack the Movies Twitter thing popped up, and I was like, how'd that happen? And I checked it. I was like, oh, I'm still blocked by them, but I can see it. So I was just like, oh, I guess they took away the block feature now, where people who blocked you or you blocked them can see your stuff, but they can't interact with you, which I think is so fucking counterintuitive. But are you still friends with Mets and Maryland? Mets, yes. Maryland, not so much. But Mets, yeah, Mets is we talk constantly. It's just they're super busy, and I moved an hour away. So just dropped a question for the previous video. Awesome. Yeah, please do. Everybody drop a question in there or a comment on there, something for us to answer. I'm looking for things that's kind of give she and I a chance to, show that sexual chemistry that we have. So it's just things that would be funny for us to bounce off of. Because she wanted me to read. She wanted me to go back and find the nastiest comments that people made about me and then respond to them. I didn't want to go down that road. So I was like, let's just do a funny one where you and I can kind of play off each other. Maybe we could tell some stories about when we used to date and stuff like that. So, I think that would be better for everybody. Plus, I'm trying to keep sorry about Marilyn, it sucks. No, it was she's in the movie. We had she was very difficult to work with, and made the set very tense and disorganized. I mean, so I'm not cutting her out of the movie or anything like that. I just feel it's better to not have those kind of personalities on our set. We had some we had some major issues. People who because Madeline come out and stayed at my house twice, and we filmed a whole bunch of shit. We got along really well, and it was just on set. Her whole demeanor changed. So maybe at some point down the line we'll both have a change of heart and we'll work together again. But I think right now, just the way that her and another person treated me while making the movie, I can't abide by that, especially as somebody who's trying to run the set. I promise Marilyn will be in the next movie. It's Madeline. Hey, if you want to get her, was Amber intimidated by your third leg the first time she saw it? That's a funny story. It's in one of the videos that we shot. But if someone wants to ask that question, I'm sure we can retread it. There was okay, we'll wait. We'll get to that one. But there was a very funny. Hey, what's going on, Xavier? How are you? Hope you have a good Thanksgiving. There was a very funny exchange back in the day between us. Yeah, I'm going to make kombucha great again. I'm not acting until I get kombucha. I was like, we're in fucking nowhere, Delaware. Where do you want me to find kombucha? And I drove around for almost an hour. It's too bad. I'm like, yeah, me too. I don't know. Maybe it was just that set, but it was bad. It hurt. It set us back a lot. I had to pay extra out of the budget that I was given by someone who's in here, and just trying to kind of put out fires and move things around. Did any of the ladies you dated dread bedtime because of the newt anaconda? No, some, I injured a couple, but I wanted kombucha. Who doesn't? I made certain ones that and have seen before bleed, and that's not my fault, but I try not to. I try not to do that because I want to do it again. I don't want to, make them second guess it. But yeah, no, it sucked. That whole first Newt loves kombucha and $1,000 seafood dinners, dude. That was the other thing was the idea that I'm literally leading. We had 3 days to shoot 30 pages, all right? And there's all these moving parts, and I'm running from setup to setup because we have three different crews going, and I'm running from set to set, like place to place, watching the playback, telling them what I need, letting them shoot, and then running back to the other one. Um, and they're like, they're going to order dinner. And I said, okay, we'll go from here. Everyone just ordered whatever they wanted instead of sticking to the thing. And we wound up spending like a portion of the budget on dinners because people were just getting whatever the fuck they wanted. So I had to sit everybody down and be like, dude, a guy gave me money to make a fucking movie, not so you guys could have fucking surf and turf every night, you know? But I couldn't be in three places at once. And it got like very, very frustrating. I was a bad feeling about that chick. She's definitely all about the money. Oh yeah, that was that was a thing. We got what we needed. We got all the shots we needed. Like literally under the wire. We the last day when I had to get everybody to the airport, we shot for 16 straight hours to get it because I needed a lot of coverage. We had effects shots and all that kind of stuff. One-way street. Oh yeah, 100%. But I didn't lose my mind because Amber was there, Jeanette was there, and Race was there, and they kind of, they kind of kept me grounded and focused on making the movie. Because again, somebody gives you money to make a movie, and you want to make the best fucking movie that you can. You want it to look good, and if I was to like snap and start yelling at people and lose track of things, then we're going to lose scenes and it's going to be a whole thing. All I ask for is to feel a woman's touch. Me too, man. That's all I want. But we were able to D3 The Mighty Duck sucks. Yes, D3 tried to be more serious sometimes, which I thought was kind of funny because it's like the second one, they're like playing Kenya, who has like steel drums and shit. Tibetan brewed kombucha and seafood with swordfish caviar will break you. Yeah, that was because I've been on a lot of movie sets before, and I tried to when I got the budget, I made a full itinerary of what we're gonna need and all that kind of stuff. He lived on spaghetti. Well, yeah, because he didn't want to get sick because they were in Tunisia and everybody was getting sick from what they were eating and drinking there. Is that the first person you fired from set? No, I didn't fire them. I just cut down on their scenes and got what I needed and got them on their way. And then that allowed me to write extra scenes for other people. That's why Amber is in the movie more. That's why Bradley she's in the movie more. That's why I added the scene that Metz is in too, was just to kind of fill in those gaps because I'm not going to reward somebody else for their bad behavior by giving them more to do in the movie. I'm gonna give it to people who are there trying to help me. So we did that. And the footage looks great. The footage looks fucking killer. We got beautiful lighting and interesting camera setups. I was trying to do like really interesting things with the camera and not just have it be a static two shot and stuff like that. I mean, a lot of dirtying up the frame, a lot of cool rack focuses and stuff like that. And you're dealing with pool toys and puppets and shit and titties. So I was like trying to make it like a fun, 80s VHS movie. She lives on White Castle and Xanax. Well, she was supposed to be in this one. The schedules didn't line up. I talked to her about coming out to be in that. Nadia White. You're going to watch Joker 2 tonight. I liked it. Watch my review afterwards. See if you agree with it. Nadia White, the adult film actress, was going to come out and be in the movie because she and I are friends. And we did Cold Blood together. And the schedules just didn't line up, so we couldn't get her in that one. And then when she was available, I couldn't film, so I said we'll get her in the next one. But there's a lot of actresses who I couldn't get in this one just because of timing and because of money that we can get in the next one that I think will, it'll be more fun to hang out with them because they all know how to they know how to have good time and they're there to work and shit like that. But I definitely learned on this movie. Some people really stepped up too. People I didn't expect really stepped up. Zoe, who filmed the scenes with Darcy, she was fucking great. She just wanted to do like a cameo in it. And I was like, no, I want to write you a whole part. So I wrote her a whole part. And then I'm writing her a part in another project too, because she's really fucking funny. She's a trooper. It was fucking cold. She's naked, completely naked outside in this thing. We have to throw blood at her, and it's fucking freezing outside. And she's like, whatever, it's cool. I was like, all right, dude, you're in the next movie. You're fucking awesome. All right, let me see what I missed here. Kombucha will do that. It'll take the actor the budget. Didn't Tom Hanks recently say Spielberg eats SpaghettiOs out of the can and looked weird seeing him eat that way on Saving Private Ryan? I mean, everybody has, they have their little idiosyncrasies while they're filming. I don't eat at all. Like I keep forgetting to eat. You should try to get Nadia White and some of her friends on a live stream. Oh yeah, I want to. When we're filming that movie, we'll have more time to do that kind of stuff. Like the last one, even with Darcy, I wanted to have her on something, but we were just running because I write so much dialogue that you need a two-camera setup and we need to make sure that everything's consistent and all that kind of stuff. So we didn't really have time on this one to do any of that stuff. I tried to film a lot of behind the scenes just so you guys could see what we're doing, but there really wasn't time to sit down and kind of revel in that kind of stuff. But I think next one will. Apparently he was the only one on set of Raiders not to get food poisoning. Yep, I remember that one. She could be in Thundercock Jones. Well, on the next project, if she comes back, there's going to be, there's going to be things put in place to make sure that we don't have that kind of attitude. And now I think, because this is the first feature I've directed. I really like the behind the scenes stuff. Thank you. I think it's fun, and it gives you an idea of like, this is a weird fucking movie. It's very fucking weird. It's all over the place with different flashbacks and setups and creatures and all this kind of stuff. Even the scene that Fallon and I are going to shoot on Wednesday, it bridges the gap between the second and third act. We're going to use the theater for it. And I came up with a really interesting way to transition, from that to the stuff that we already filmed. And I'm just trying to make it different and not look like we shot it over 5 months and we are kind of running and gunning and stuff like that. But everybody got paid, and when I budgeted it out, we had one budget and it wound up being a lot more. And I put a lot more of my own money into it since then. That's why I was working 3 jobs at one point, because even when I was given the budget for it, I was like, we're going to run out of money because of just how shit happens. And again, once we were there, we had a guy who fucked us over with sound stuff. And then, he got paid and then didn't come to do the work. So I had to get people to basically threaten, him to get that money back. And then that money went directly into feeding people and bringing people out here and stuff like that. I think the biggest mistake that I made was flying out people. Darcy's one thing. Darcy is a name. It's going to help us sell the movie. But some other actresses who I flew out, I should have saved that money and used local talent. I think I would have better results with local talent. And then I'm putting people in hotel rooms, and the hotel charged us way more money. Is he sleeping with the fishes? No, I have friends in the Philly film world. My friend Brian, especially, he knows everybody, and he made a phone call, and some people made sure that I got PayPal back that money. No, don't mess with me. It's just I've done a lot of favors for people, and plus a lot of people got free movies for 10 years, private showings and all that kind of shit. I've come out and done a lot of free work for people, and I've done a lot of writing for people for free. I've done a lot of crew stuff for people for free. I found people locations or actors and stuff like that, and I've never asked anyone for anything. So every so often I'll call something in, and it's not, it's harder now because obviously, a media company who I used to work for has blacklisted me to a lot of people, but there are still people around here, and sometimes when I need things, I can get things done. We put the fear of God into them, and that was all that was important, and I got the money back. I'm glad you got it back, though. Hopefully it wasn't used for kombucha. No, the kombucha was just one day, man, and it set us back 3 hours. They wouldn't, until they got what they wanted, they wouldn't come to set. So I left the crew there, and I went and I got the stuff. Thoughts on Babylon? I loved Babylon, and people didn't like it. Newt set out for a crew with pillars and blowtorches to work on. I just got here, and this is fascinating. Yeah, you missed a whole bunch if you're just getting here. I'm putting mob-like threats out on people. No, I thought Babylon was great. I thought it was a little too long. but I think it's one that's going to be reevaluated at some point, you know. Uh, when do you think your body of work will reopen those doors? I don't think it ever will. I think if I'm successful, it's only going to make things worse. I was busy. Lucky to be here at all. Yeah, I know what that's like, man. Give it 20 years and it'll be a cult classic. I agree. The stuff like Speed Racer, I thought was going to be one of those. I was like, maybe people don't like this now, but eventually people are going to love this movie. And so far, that hasn't come to pass. But I thought Speed Racer was fucking great. No, I think if I have any success, it's only going to make things worse. Um, because I think it's going to prove a lot of things to a lot of people. It was easier when I wasn't doing anything and I was kind of like singing for my supper and trying to push ideas through and they weren't getting pushed through. But now that we'll actually have, could arguably have 3 features by the end of 2025, and that's no short order. I know this is like a little silly, pool toy horror movie, but it takes a lot of fucking work, like to budgeting and scheduling and locations and making sure that people show up places and getting all your shots and then going back and checking everything. Because once you move on, you can't go back, let the haters keep, yeah, my only film award that I have is in my bathroom. I won an award from a Philly Film Festival or from a New Jersey Film Festival, and it's in my bathroom. Would you ever try to fly out to Japan? Yeah, no, we got invited to Japan. Have I ever seen the Oogie Loves? No. You guys were talking about that earlier as a Cinema Snob episode. I don't think I remember the thumbnail. I've never seen the movie. But yeah, no, it's I'd love to win awards, but more so I don't care. My biggest thing is as long as I can pay the producer back and get all my friends who worked on it paid, I'm happy, and then I get to make another one. That's all I care about. I don't need the money. I don't need the celebrity that comes with that people want when they do this shit. Honestly, if I could just make sure that I'm square with the people who helped me out and that I get to do another one, that's all I want in the world because that gives me direction. When I have like creative things I'm excited about, that gives me that gives me a reason to keep doing what I'm doing. I was working 3 fucking jobs in like February, March. I was doing 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. working at Public Storage. I was doing 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. working at FYE. Then I was doing 10 p.m. to 7 a.m. And I was doing that 3 days in a row. So I would go 3 days in a row without sleeping in the middle of my week just to make extra money so that I had money to fall back on while we were making the movie. And in case we ran out of money for the movie, I didn't have to go back to him and keep asking for money because I felt like an asshole. I had to once, and I felt like a fucking asshole about it because I was just like, somebody gives you something, you need to make that work. I just didn't know all the exterior stuff that was going to happen. That's insane. Yeah, it was bad. I was in really, really fucking bad shape. I was trying to like take micro naps and stuff like that, but like there was a couple times where you, me, and Mel are going to Japan. Let's go. The Shark Exorcist 2 played in Japan last year, and the guy who owns 13 cinemas in Japan was like, "Get your fucking pool movie done, and I'll present it out here." And I was like, "All right." My my enthusiasm is infectious. I just want to make shit, man. I just want to I want to at the end. I want to look back and go like, look at the fucking stack of Blu-rays of movies that I worked on. I have a bunch of stuff here now, and I'm like, that's cool, man. I got to do the commentary track on Jack Frost 1 and 2 and stuff. Imagine you're big in Japan. I'd love to be. But yeah, it would be cool this summer to go out to Japan with Amityville Pool Toy Massacre and show it to a Japanese audience because they loved Shark Exorcist 2. And this movie's way better than Shark Exorcist 2. So it's cool that the owner of those theaters is like, yeah, bring it out here. That's why I added more inflatable sharks to the movie because he's like, it's got to have sharks in it. So I added more sharks to the movie just so we have an excuse to have it in the thing. We're going to put sharks on the poster as well. So, but that's one of those things that like, how fucking cool is it that you'd have your stuff show in Japan, my dad pretty much works nonstop, sometimes 7 days a week, essentially probably to get 4 or 5 hours of sleep. Yeah, it's no fucking laughing matter, man. It was bad there for a while. Until I got the job with the running the other theater, I was doing that, 3 days a week, and then I was working 6 days a week total, but 3 days were doing all of them. Which Jack Frost, the horror one or the Michael Keaton one? The horror one. MVD put out a bunch of these MVD rewinds. And back when I used to be on the other show, he turns 44 in December, and I don't know how he does it. I'm 43 now, and I don't think I could ever do that again. It was draining, but I had to keep reminding myself, like, you want to make a fucking movie, man. You want to be able to, like, do this. You got to do this right now. And it's not good for your mental health. It's not good for your body. Because at the same time as when I tore my ACL when I was doing that, it was very hard to get around between the three jobs. But here we are. But yeah, I was doing MVD rewinds when I was on the old show. Myself, the redhead, and the Italian guy. We recorded commentary tracks for Jack Frost 1 and 2, Dirty Laundry. How cool is it that you went from talking about making movies to realizing your dream? Yeah, but that's because of you. That was. I thought you were fucking with me the first time. Because nobody reaches out to a fucking dickhead like me and says, I want to produce a movie for you. I thought you were a Reddit person and I was getting fucked with. So when it turns out that you did give me that opportunity, that meant a lot to me. Like, you don't get that. I'm 45. My body started breaking down like 7 years ago. You're just powering through all the injuries. Yeah, it's no good, man. Like, I try to work out my knee as much as possible. I have the bike, and there's a lot of steps at work too. So I'm just trying to keep it stretched out, just so I can, just so I can kind of, like, have mobility. Because again, I was so used to being mobile. I played hockey my whole life, played baseball, football. So it's just one of those things that, like, as you get older, like, because I gained a lot of weight when I worked at that media company too, like, because we were insulated and it was just nothing but bad food and alcohol. You wonder why everybody looked like that who worked there. And once I got out of there, I mean, I had a complete and total nervous breakdown. So I just wasn't eating anything for like a good month. So I lost a fuck ton of weight. And then I kind of put things back on. That kind of turned it back into trying to stay in some kind of shape. I need a new job. Yeah, I know what that's like. You look like Newt, gonna look like Ernie Hudson, a youthful 70 years old. Well, I'm almost there. I'm 43. No, man, I want to get to that point where I can, like, not have to be worried about, doing something for myself, like going on a vacation or working on a project and not worrying about, like, fuck, I have to do this to work and all, and pay my bills and stuff like that. Like, I want to get to that point where I can live a little bit, because since I'm 15 years old, I've been working, nonstop and every holiday and all this kind of stuff. And no way of telling me the Redditor Dragon, wait. No way you're telling me that Redditor Dragon catered nonstop slot. Yeah, I know, that's all it was all the time. But yeah, I've never, like, I don't go on vacation. I don't go do things for myself. I feel, like, nervous doing things for myself, and, like, I don't splurge and get myself stuff. Because I'm always trying, I know what it's like to be out of work and, like, scrounging to make, to pay my bills and shit like that. There was, like, since Screenwave, I bounced around a lot, but, like, I was broke, like, flat fucking broke a couple times. And I'm selling scripts and selling, a comic book collection and my the slob nickname. Yeah, some of them. I mean, again, I haven't seen any of those people in a long time. I tried to reach out to one of them last week because there was an issue with one of their family members, but I realized that I'm still blocked on their phone. So I hope everything worked out. I think that we're adults, and, so weird that people now look to Reddit for facts and stuff. Kind of dumb. Oh yeah, we live in the worst timeline. But it is what it is. I don't go over there and look. I don't interact with those people. There are people, there are still people who say things, but I'm like, come on, man, it's been 3 fucking years. Turn the page. There's so many other things you guys can talk about, And I'm excited for them to review the movie, because it's just like, all right, well, these guys over here, all this fucking money in a studio and all these contacts, they're not making a movie. I'm over here using some poor dude's money. I think that people are going to like it. I'm excited about it, It's just because like, what's the worst type of customer you've dealt with at the theater? Um, the Karens. Is that a racial slur? You can't say Karen anymore. Just the entitled fucking white ladies. I can't stand that shit. Um, you know, so that they're kind of my least favorite customers. We had we almost had a fist fight the other day. I don't know if I told this story or not. We had a customer. I was upstairs in my office, and again. I'm still working on all this forensic, bookkeeping shit for the girl who was stealing, who I took over for. So far, I'm up to $40,000. But somebody they knocked on my office door. One of my employees, they're like, they have a customer saying that somebody's being loud. One of the kids is being loud downstairs. So when I was doing the box office to cover the one girl's break, and there were some teenagers who went into Red One. So I was like, okay, I can figure out who this is going to be. And I went down there and I walked the theater and I didn't hear anything. And this guy came up to me and he's like, "You're not going to do anything about that kid?" And I look over to what he's talking about. There's a little boy. He's probably like 4. He's autistic. He always comes in with his dad. And he doesn't do it. He laughs and he claps and stuff like that. He's an autistic kid. And the audio is cutting from me. Anyone else? If you can't hear me, let me know. But yeah, so the guy wanted me to kick out an autistic child, and I said no. So then the guy starts jawing at me. The guy with the autistic kid now knows that this dude's jawing at me because of his kid, so he comes over. Now the two of them are jawing at each other, and the fucking dude who complained in the first place is like, "I'm just letting you know I open carry." I'm trying to get them separated so we don't have an issue in the theater. The dad with the kid was feeling so bad about it. Leave the locate. Yeah, exactly, man. So dad with the autistic kid feels bad. I was like, no, there's nothing to feel bad about. That guy's just an asshole. So the guy who complained came out. He's like, not only am I never going to come here again, but I'm going to tell people not to come here. I was like, okay, go fucking head, dude. Like, I don't suffer fools well at all, and he's an autistic child. Fuck you. I hate people, but it's people like that who just make like, it's like, what the fuck am I doing? Let me see, whoever I missed here. Audio is cutting out for me. Anyone else? 3 years and they're still redditing at this point. Their skin is probably fused into the gaming chair. I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, whatever. It is what it is. Reddit fools live their lives terminally online. Restart the app. We're good now. Okay, cool. Yeah, I don't go, like, there was a period of time where when I worked there, they were always on there. They were always reading what people were saying about them. And they had jokes about it and all this kind of shit. I didn't even know it existed until I started working there. And then, the only time I did was when people sent me things that were said about me. And it bothered me for a really long time. But I'll bet you anything they still fucking check that every day, because that's how they are. I don't need that in my life. I have enough problems. I have enough people who actually know me who hate me. But, if when I get the movie out, I'm excited to see what those kind of people say, by their physique, I believe you. I'm autistic. I know how the dad feels. Yeah, and again, the kid wasn't doing anything. The kid was just enjoying the fucking movie. They come in all the time. I've talked to the dad because the dad's, he's a big Eagles fan. So we're talking about the Eagles and stuff like that. And I've seen the little kid a bunch of times. And if I think the dad would know it. If the kid was like acting out, he would take them out of the theater. But the kid wasn't doing anything. He was just laughing and cheering at the fucking Rock Santa Claus movie, And it's just other people who have to be dickheads about everything. Plus, homie, our tickets are $5 fucking dollars, I wonder when the fast food chains start invading theaters like they do in Canada. Yeah, I knew about that. I knew Burger King was in certain places. I haven't seen that in any American theaters yet. That's probably because AMC and Regal are like the two big dogs. Glad you stood up for the chill guy. Yeah, fuck that, man. Like, always, even if I didn't know the guy, even if I'd never seen them before, first off, he's a little boy. Forget the fact that he's autistic. He's a little kid, and little kids are excited when this kind of shit happens. If he was yelling or being disruptive, that's one thing. He was just enjoying the movie. It's this guy had to be an asshole. I can't stand that kind of shit. I have no paternal instinct whatsoever. My brother's kids are fine, like, but I don't spend a lot of time with them. I don't spend a lot of time around little kids at all. Like, I don't have that gene where I'm like, wow, aren't kids great? I don't have that, I try to stay as far away from them because they're like, you know, dirty and full of diseases and stuff like that. But yeah, it's just, people are lame, man, and customer service is the worst, and it's only gotten worse, especially since past COVID. So I'm kind of always at my guard when it comes to what customer is going to come in today and try to piss me off. But I've gotten to the point where I don't even bother not being a dick to people. I hear you out, and if I think that there's some validity in it, then I will change my tune. But for the most part, I'm just very like, I let you bitch and complain until you stop and realize how stupid you sound. Or I'll be like very backhanded with people too, which catches them off guard. Theater is blasting, and you're complaining about little Timmy in the front. I would have been so mad if I was there. Yeah, it was all little kids. It's The Rock and Captain America have to save Santa Claus. It's like, yeah, it's a kids movie. Kids are gonna have fun. Little kids, I can deal with. The old people are the worst. Yeah, I don't like anybody. I like you guys. I like my friends who are here. I like my cat. But for the most part, I try to avoid people in general. People are just very, you know, I don't know. That's why I hang out with the same people. Like Metz is easy to hang out with. Amber's easy to hang out with. Melissa's easy to hang out with. There's no drama. There's no expectations or anything like that. Just go and enjoy hanging out with people. But some people just make things way more difficult. Fuse customer service work. No, oh yeah, people are so entitled. Um, even today, like I'm working by myself and we're busy. Like we're super busy. I'm doing every position because I couldn't get anybody to work on Thanksgiving. And I told this one guy, I was like, well, I'm here by myself, so I'm gonna have to clean the theater by myself. And he made a mess on purpose, I feel like. Yes, glad to whatever to go to the theaters. I'm usually the only one there. We've been busy. Moana 2 has been super, super busy, which is good because I needed the money because I have a $3,000 concession order to put in on Monday, and I got to pay the exterminator and the electric. Okay, we're back. The electric bills coming up and stuff like that. So we needed to make some money this weekend, and thankfully Moana has done well for us. So I'm very happy about that. Because it sucks when you have to move things around when you're making the budget. Like, well, we can't do this month, so hopefully it holds out for another month, But I'm used to doing that with my own personal finances too. Now that I've moved here and I don't have a car right now, I've just been saving, and doing a lot of extra side writing work and stuff like that for some people. And hopefully I'll be back up and running soon because, we got 2 more days of shooting left on this movie, and then I got to get into the next one. So I need to be mobile to get up to the studio, and then to get out to the Dakotas to shoot this other movie. It'll be cool to go shoot somewhere different, like because I made Triple Xmas in St. Louis. They flew me out to St. Louis for that one. But it's been a long time since I've got to do anything like that. I got to shoot a movie in LA. And then everything else has just been East Coast stuff. So it'll be cool to go somewhere different and try something different. So yeah, who knows? All this could fall apart. Every time I think I'm getting close to achieving my goals, it comes out from underneath of me. I'm glad that whatever. Okay. And remember, anyone who hasn't done it yet, you need to go over to the Newton Amber video. You need to leave a question or a comment so that she and I can do a video. I told her that we would have some good comments and questions for her so she feels good about herself, and then we can have some fun stuff where she and I kind of go off each other. So please go over and do that. So I have a whole bunch of ones to work with. I got a couple on Patreon, and I got a couple private messages, but I want enough to kind of that she and I can have a good time with that. So please go over and do that if you haven't done that yet, because or we're not gonna have anything to talk about. I need an excuse for her to come hang out with me so her boyfriend doesn't get mad. All right. So I guess that's it. I guess we'll wrap this up here because we've been doing this for 2.5 hours. And I'm gonna go and make myself a sandwich or something like that. And I hope everybody had a good night. Thank you for coming to join me. Please go leave a comment on the video, and I will join you guys again. Probably do something next week. And I'll have a bunch of behind the scenes stuff with Fallon and I from the shoot on Wednesday. So thanks for coming to join me, guys, and have a good rest of your night. Tell Elvira I said hi. He says hi. Oh, she walked away. See you guys.